So you admit it. You are in one. We were roasting the shit out of you, and you denied it. Lied to our face.
No, I'm playing into the joke. I'm in a real.
Fuck you. No, your delivery's not that good. You just totally copped to it.
Can I just say, with the propeller hat and now IRI's iconic background, we're really like sort of. I mean, these are awesome iconic images that we're adding to the Live and Learn pantheon.
Oh, he's muted again.
Oh.
Are you guys live? Can I show this now?
Yeah, you're good.
Sure
we're live
can.
now. We're doing it live. We're doing it live.
All right, cool.
You guys, don't you mean we?
We. You know
How's
what?
everybody
And we're gonna
doing?
give the two new people the big screens and
Newbies.
the veterans here.
I was going to play into
support
the idea of I'm a legacy member now that I've been here for so long.
On one episode, yeah.
You have more tenure than IRI. You're the seasoned one. You're gonna have to show them the ropes.
True.
Well,
It's a shame we don't have a Boy though, really, because this is the one episode where he could burn a flag and possibly get arrested, and then we'd make news.
oh Jesus, yeah. I mean, that's something to definitely talk about. Boy is here in spirit. He's actually under my desk.
No, there's something even more relevant to Econoboy. Donald Trump is doing his fucking socialism. It's crazy.
Oh, true.
10% of Intel.
Dude, it's crazy that happens like literally a few days after Econoboy leaves. That would have been gold, but whatever.
That's insane. Yeah.
I mean,
Why
how
do
do
you
we
think he
know
left? He got a
Econoboy is not
position in the
responsible
Trump
for it?
admin.
Yeah, why do you think they did this?
Yeah, really. I mean, Econoboy leaves. He says he retires from, online politics. He didn't say politics. And then a few days later, the United States government gets 10% stake in Intel. I mean, 2 + 2 is 4, buddy. Just saying.
It's
So-
clear.
Elephant in the room. Listen, we got a new co-host. Can you hear us, brother? Are you still there?
Yep.
There you go. All right.
Hell
so
yeah.
Yeah.
it was prophesied that this man would bring balance to the force, and he's here to fulfill that prophecy. IRI, thank you so much for signing up. I really appreciate you coming on. I think you will offer insight that we will all benefit from.
Wait, I have a question, actually. I need to know before you introduce yourself. Was IRI brought on because 3 populist progressives were yelling at you on my first episode? And you were like, God damn it, get a more lib in here.
Wait, are
And
you
now-
suggesting, Soy Pill, that IRI is an affirmative action hire by this this
No,
illustrious...
He's a DEI hire.
He's a DEI hire, and that's good because DEI is good. I'm pro DEI.
No, I had it in my mind that I wanted both of you guys, to be honest with you, and then I kind of like convinced these other two to go with that. But no, yeah, I think like honestly, just to get a little real, I think a lot of the toxicity outside of the pod is because of the appearance of a pylon. Even though I don't give a fuck, I don't take it personally. I know you guys aren't being mean or anything like that. I think that just the appearance of that caused just a lot of like nonsense outside of the podcast. So I think having IRI come on to balance things a little bit, I think is a good move. And I just
yeah.
generally like him.
Well,
and I've
Except the
liked him for
joke's
years.
on
IRI.
you. The joke's on you, Hutch, because IRI is about to do a massive real...
It's an
This is
even
not
bigger
IRI.
pylon.
It's
Yeah,
actually
I'm-
Hassan Piker wearing an IRI mask. Do it!
I'm
Take it
here to
off!
say, Hakeem Jeffries, it's time to endorse Mamdani. Okay.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
kidding.
Hell
I'm kidding.
yeah. Oh, we're doing
Not
it.
off to
I'm
a great
kidding.
start. I
No, he's
regret
not.
everything.
Somebody clip it. Somebody clip it right
We
now.
got that clip. We got
We're going to
that
have to
clip.
bring
That's
on a
all we
6th
wanted.
co-host.
That's all we wanted.
Hold on. First topic. Here we go. What do you think about kicking Vanguard out of the coalition? Go.
No,
Yeah, you just wanna-
I'm not for shrinking the coalition. I want as many people as possible. So I'm always looking for bringing more people in.
Nice. There you go.
We love that, man. We love
That's
that.
beautiful. That's very inclusive. See, that's why he is the DEI hire, the inclusivity right there. It's the I.
And IRI's been killing it also in the debate game, so I hear, doing a little invasion into TikTok. Is that right?
That's right. I've been doing quite well over there in the TikTok debate space.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where it goes. But I'm getting like up to 1,500 viewers over there, which is pretty crazy.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
God
Yeah, it's
damn.
awesome to get like TikTok. That's where I started. I don't know how much it's changed in the past like 2 years because I haven't done anything with it in about 2 or 3 years. But it was a lot easier on TikTok than on Twitch and YouTube to get like a bunch of concurrence. Is it the same though that it's easy for the stream to get canceled? Because like 2 or 3 years ago, they can shut that shit down so quick.
Yep. It can get taken down for a guest saying the wrong thing. You got to use all the cringe words like unalive, AB, MJ, D-Rugs. You know, you got to be careful what you say over there. But
D-Rugs.
I got a couple backups, and so do all the big guys. So you got to have like 4 or 5 accounts that you cycle
4 or
between.
5. Yikes!
And you
Was this you when you were doing
right?
Ruminate, Josiah?
Yeah. So
This is
so
Ruminate
I
days.
yeah, so that's how I got started. I tried my hand at streaming, and when I wasn't getting any sort of like instant gratification from that, I was told to check out TikTok, and it was easier to get views and followers on TikTok. And that dopamine hit just meant a lot. And so then when you could go into live debates, like Staxiums and I used to do like 2v2 live debates against like people all the time, and it was a lot of fun. But quite frankly, at the time, and I don't know, maybe I can speak to this, the like creator monetization program wasn't shit, and I was trying to do this full time, and so Luke Beasley and Destiny were like, you need to go full time on YouTube, and so I dropped TikTok. I'm still a one-man show. I have no editors, so I don't have the bandwidth to do anything with respect to TikTok. But my understanding is the creator program is much more generous now than it was, and it has a desktop function, right, IRI, so you can simul stream like on YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah, I am on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, which is nice. But I can tell any of you guys how to do it if you want. You can DM me and I can walk you through it.
Oh.
But the monetization is not great. You get little coins; they're worth 1 penny, and I think they take like 70% or something. But you can get tips.
Wow.
God damn.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? Really? That's crazy.
Yeah, no, you're not making money off the in-app stuff, but you can get tips on Venmo and PayPal and Cash
Hell
App,
yeah.
and people send you $10, $20 here, and they put a message. So that's the meta, and that's how people are making money.
Do you still have your OF in the link? Like in your link tree, do you have your OF profile?
Yes,
He
of
still
course.
has it. He still has it.
You can
of
recognize IRI's feet anywhere, man. I'm telling you what, you get an ankle shot in there, it's like, I know that guy.
Wait, we're being a bit presumptuous. Why don't you introduce yourself to all of our audiences? I'm sure there's some people in here that are unfamiliar with your game. How'd you get into politics? Yeah, what are you all about, bro?
Let's see if I can give a quick version. So I've been streaming since about 2018, and I started on Twitch, and I try to focus a lot on what's going on Capitol Hill and just point out some positive stuff to people, because I feel the more you understand about your government, the more optimistic you are about the future, because it's overwhelming if all you're doing is taking in headlines. So that's pretty much my stream. I've been doing that on Twitch and YouTube for a couple of years now. I went full time in 2023. And as you guys said, I've been debating on TikTok for about a year now, since I met Dean and Parker at a Jubilee. I've been on Jubilee 6 times. I debated Ben Shapiro for 15 minutes on the border, which was great. And by the way, NPR did a piece about Jubilee and their effect on politics. And they said that the Ben Shapiro YouTube video on Jubilee was the 5th most watched piece of content for politics on YouTube during the election. And I had a big role in that. So I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. So that's why.
IRI, can I just say something real quick? I actually think you're mischaracterizing it, because it's the IRI Jubilee video featuring Ben Shapiro. Let's be honest, because you fucking beat his ass in that. Didn't you have like the longest tenure against him, the longest sustained back and forth?
I think so.
Oh yeah, 15 minutes, which is unheard of on that show. You get voted off within like 5 minutes. So that was a big moment, and I was pretty nervous about it, but it was cool.
It did not come off that way at all, guys. If
We
you
were all
watch
proud
it,
of you,
we can't watch Jubilee on here because like they have like
They'll
DMCA
censor
shit.
you, yeah.
But if you watch it, IRI, when he texted me, he said, "Yeah, I was nervous the whole time." Like, it did not show at all, bro. You killed it.
Truly not. Yeah.
And then and then recently I debated Jank, and we had a nice little
Oh,
exchange. So
shit.
it's been
How
interesting.
Did that go?
Well, I told him, I said, bro, you're acting like you're a political pickup artist, because you're just giving people like one trick to meet chicks, kind of like with politics, just gotta get rid of the donors, whatever.
Wait, so
And I
you
told
don't-
him he's no better than I thought he's no better than MAGA, because he just gives people
No
boogeyman,
better.
But
So you don't
He,
think he could pass? Was it what is it? Wait, what's his thing? Paid family leave. You don't think he could pass paid family leave in 2 fucking weeks? IRI? Really? You don't think so?
no,
He
I
could
don't
do it
think
with
him
two- with
withholding
two
his
phone
vote
calls,
for
bro.
speaker would get him that. No, I don't.
Did he hit you with the of course?
A million times. The donors, bro. He got
the
mad. He got
donor
triggered.
class,
That guy
bro.
needs to practice. He needs to practice debating way more, because he got way too triggered for someone of his stature.
When
You're
Jen
more well
comes, Does
known.
he say donors or of course? Which one?
Which one to say more?
When he comes, is it donors or of course?
Jesus
God.
Christ.
I don't know.
I'm just curious.
You're
Are we
you're more well known for the Ben Shapiro thing, but honestly, your exchange with Jank was so good, man. Like, I was listening to
appreciate
that on my way back from Nevada. It was like a 10-hour car ride, and so I just fucking downloaded a bunch of YouTube videos. That was one of them. And
Hell yeah.
I was in my, like, it's a really good, like, it's a lot easier when you're outside of the debate to think like, oh, you should say this, or oh, you should say that. But anyone who's been in a debate, that sometimes like your emotions are kind of going. And so it's like hard to keep those things in your head. But I was listening to your debate with him and I was like, in my head, I was like, man, he really needs to say this, or and you hit like all of them. And then you hit me with a bunch of them like that I didn't even think of. It was so good. Like you were pushing back against things, man. You crushed it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Congrats, all you guys should be on Jubilee, man. Like you could all be on there easily.
The soy pill will be in 6 months because I don't know if you know, he was on this fucking tour. Like, it was insane. He was like in Vancouver one moment. He was in like Miami, Florida the next moment.
I put 7 trips into an 8-week span because I was like, I'll just get it all out of the way.
No, like it's insane. Like, weren't you with like JJ McCullough, Ro Khanna,
J-Reg, Ro Khanna, Congressman Jackson,
Dwayne Wade,
VidCon, Comic-Con. It was wild.
Yeah, Jesus, bro.
But the Jubilee people actually tried to cast me in a Love Is Blind-esque dating show where you invite 3 of your family members into a big house with all the other cast members. Then your family matches with the other families. They pick you out a mate in 2 weeks. Then you live together for 4 weeks while your family watches on cameras. And at the end of those 4 weeks, you have to decide whether or not you want to get married.
Wait, are you trolling right now? Or
I'm not trolling. They reached out. This was like while I was on like my trip 5 of 7. This all happened.
Is this Married at First Sight or whatever?
I don't know if it has a name, but I'm sure it'll come out next year at some point. And I told them, like, I don't think I could get a single one of my family members to agree to a 6-week commitment where they're like watching me like live with another human being.
What you just described sounds like my actual nightmare. Like that would be just the worst experience.
Don't you have a partner, Soy Pill?
I do.
Yeah. What
don't you have a sexual partner, bro?
Yes. Don't you fuck?
Don't I fuck? Well, I didn't say that. I said I have a partner. What?
True. Those are different things. Yeah. I'm scared about TikTok because we have this law. I don't know if you guys heard of it that is supposed to divest TikTok / ban it. And so if we had a president who enforced the bipartisanly enacted law that was approved unanimously by the Supreme Court, as he's obligated to do, maybe I would be more concerned about starting a platform there, but it seems like he is not too interested in.
Wait, does that make IRI a criminal or a criminal accomplice?
No, because guess what? The new theory of executive power is the president can just interpret whatever they want, and if they can just say the magic word, foreign policy, and all of a sudden everything's legal and no one's liable. And they sent out letters to all the platforms. The way it works is it targets the platforms. It doesn't necessarily, and like the infrastructure, and not so much the users.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. Like I think there was like a 30-day extension, right? And then or 90-day. It was one of them, and you're only allowed to do it once as long as a sale is being facilitated. And he's done it like 2 or 3 times. He just doesn't give a fuck. And we don't give a fuck. Like we are a post-constitutional republic, I think. Ira, you were saying something?
No, he's definitely flouting the law. I mean, it should not be online right now, but I do worry about them banning like left-leaning creators on there because they're trying to cozy up to Trump. And so I kind of have to watch what I say on there, to be honest.
It's kind of funny because we started the show talking about like the 10% investment of the United States into Intel. And so many of these corporations, third parties are complying in advance and making these kinds of deals. It's not just corporations, it's not just individuals, not just law firms, not just universities, but also like other countries even. So a lot of the shit is working. And even, for example, the law that I'm sure we'll talk about today, or not, it's not a law, the executive order. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I thought you were done. I apologize.
The executive order purporting to like ban flag burning. A lot of this, I think, is just signaling in a way that will actually get compliance for a lot of people.
Can I interrupt real quick because I just got a DM from a journalist on Peter Rothplatz, who now works for Zateo, used to work for MSNBC and The Guardian. He just sent me this that this guy, a veteran, just burned the flag outside the White House and was detained or arrested. I've not seen this.
However you feel that you may want to express yourself. There's a First Amendment right to burn the American flag. The Archdeacon in that house right there signed an executive order today saying that it was illegal to burn the American flag. No president can make a law, period. No Congress will make a law infringing on First Amendment rights. I'm burning this flag as a protest to that illegal fascist president that sits in that house.
Hell yeah.
Base. Now,
for
here,
every
people, I got
single
some
one of
questions
you
for you, bro.
American citizens.
Yeah.
Hang on,
We
let's get to
burn
the end
this
of
flag
this.
in protest to that president feels that it's his right to do whatever he wants, make whatever law he wants. That President Trump put forward today.
What a great edit.
That's such a good smash cut.
According to that
Great
executive
edit.
order, I should be in prison right now serving 1 year.
We should talk about this though.
We should. I got questions.
Yeah.
10 more seconds. Oh shit, they cuff him. Wow.
So normally, I think burning an American flag is just fucking horrible optics. So just like tactically, I think it's dumb. But in this spot, I think it's completely justified. But let's dive into this law, Pisco. What's going on with this thing? Or this
Yeah, so-
executive order. Executive order. I'm
The
sorry.
executive order is purporting to target people who do flag burning, which has been since at least the 80s protected expressive conduct under the First Amendment, regardless of any sort of executive action to the contrary. The specific case we're talking about is Texas v. Johnson, and in that case, it was a state law. But certainly, the First Amendment applies both to federal government and to state government. Now, the thing is, though, you have to be careful. Is he being arrested for desecrating the flag or burning the flag?
That's the question,
Or
right?
is he being arrested for like some general fire ordinance in Washington, D.C.? And
Right.
that absolutely does matter. And, states and federal government are able to do like regulations on where you can burn a flag and when you could burn a flag, reasonable restrictions like that go more to like the conduct as opposed to the expressive communicative message of burning a flag, which is protected. And you can imagine like, I don't know, in California, maybe there's a law that says no burning whatsoever. That wouldn't necessarily be caught under the ambit
Well, that law was broken earlier
of
this
this
year.
executive action. So, So just to be clear on stuff, there can certainly be constitutional laws against burning stuff. What matters is like, is this as being enforced against this individual part of this executive order? Or is there some other, provision that's more neutral in applicability that would justify, burning some fucking shit in front of the White House?
Now,
What I'm
just-
hearing is you
go ahead.
support this.
Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to ask Pisco because I think a lot of the right wing narrative that's going to come out about this is well for years you got us for hate speech for burning the LGBT flag and
Yeah.
what's different about this? This is my pride.
So no one was done. Yeah, that didn't happen. Like
well,
you're
and-
good.
But specifically to the idea that like, well, maybe they're not arresting him for burning the flag. This just falls under First Amendment violations where you are hostile or are committing some sort of violence or threat of violence in the same way the Virginia versus I forgot what the case was for the cross burnings where it's like, oh, what I'm just burning my two planks of wood, but it's like, no, you're inciting violence. But the order specifically says, I have this quote from Reuters: desecrating the U.S. flag is uniquely offensive and provocative. It is a statement of contempt, hostility, and violence against our nation. So this idea that well, if you're baking in the concept that just burning it in any way is hostile, and they're going to use that maybe to crack down. What are your thoughts on that?
Real quick overview. It's first, the question is this even speech? And when it's not like spoken word or written word, it's the question is it expressive conduct? So you can imagine ways that you could desecrate a flag that aren't expressive conduct. If you drag a flag across the mud because you're just like fucking tired or something, it's not expressive conduct, right? So the first question is it even speech? Is it expressive conduct? Then it's, if it's expressive conduct, there's an additional threshold question of, are you targeting the expressive conduct for its expressive or communicative purpose? And if so, then it's treated as though like normal content-based restrictions, which are applied the highest level of scrutiny. The other things you're talking about are like categories of totally unprotected speech. So it's totally unprotected speech to do incitement. It's totally unprotected speech to do harassment. It's totally unprotected speech to, and we don't have hate law category of unprotected speech in this country, but it can't fall into a category of de facto or totally unprotected speech. And if it is expressive conduct, it needs to be, sort of targeting its actual communicative message, which the executive order by its terms is targeting the communicative message based on what it says. This is clearly a challenge directly to Texas v. Johnson, and they're setting up for that.
This tweet from Tectone on today of all days just drives me fucking insane, especially in light of that executive order. Because he asked in this tweet, question to all of the illegals on this platform: if the United States sucks so much, why did y'all try to come here? on today, when Donald Trump does this executive order, which is like very clearly like targeting the First Amendment, it's just especially ironic. Like who actually hates America here? Like I don't know if any of us on this call would gleefully burn an American flag, but the point is that you can live in this country, you can do that, and the government can't throw you in fucking jail. That's like one of the bedrock principles of what it is to like love what this country stands for. That's going to be one of the first things that people say is like freedom of speech. And he's
also,
asking
Hutch,
about go
like
ahead.
if you think about, let's say, like some South American country that like America has ravaged and like made it economically unfeasible to live in certain parts of, and they're like, hey, I want an opportunity to go live in a better country. Also, I hate that the better country that I'm living in, where it's better inside its borders, ravaged my country in the 1970s or whatever. It's possible to hold both of these things without being contradictory, I think, as well. But yeah, I don't hate America, but I think there's a lot of valid reasons
And
for
it's probably
other people
not
in other places too.
I don't know who this Tectone guy is, but presumably, like, I don't even know who he's referring to. Like when I think of quote unquote illegals living in this country, I don't think of people who hate this country definitionally, right? They're coming here for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
So just the premise to me is categorically absurd. But
If you just did a fucking random poll of every undocumented person living in this country, I guarantee you they're going to be so much more like pro-American than the median American, you know? Like
They're probably some of the most patriotic people out there because they're so happy to be here. But I do think we need more outward patriotism on the left. I don't know what that looks like. That's for everyone to decide. But there's this weird idea that the left hates America or something because we don't gratuitously celebrate the flag, which I find unfortunate.
One thing I love about
they do, the
Kamala's
DNC.
campaign.
Yeah.
Sorry,
no,
Jose.
it's exactly what you were saying, Pisco.
Yeah, no. I really liked, and this is me personally. I like Kamala's message of like we're the real patriots. Now, I think on a better messenger, perhaps that will resonate more with the American people. And one of the you guys should check out some of the merch that Gavin Newsom is hawking right now for his,
so good.
for his governor's
Hat,
campaign. But
Yeah.
but they literally have the Patriot hat, and so I really do think that people ought to embrace the the love of country, and I do it every day because for me the Constitution is the fabric, is the essential element, is the connective tissue of our country, and it's the thing I most value.
Yeah,
when
so
me and IRI went to that oh, sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
no, you go ahead. Go ahead.
It'll be real quick. Like when me and IRI went to that protest in Los Angeles, bro, there were American flags fucking everywhere. So somebody is getting the message when
Are
it
you talking
comes
about
to
the
the
No Kings
outfit.
protest?
Well, I brought
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
You did, yeah. You gave me but there were people independently there were flags. I've never seen so many
Yes.
American flags at a left wing protest in my life.
I wanted to make a point of flying some flags. So I bought 5 little ones and I gave them to like the guys we were with. And it was nice to fly them, wanted to make sure that was in the images of the protest.
Yeah, when I was at the No
issue
Kings
is-
protest in Charlotte, there were flags everywhere. And the DNC, when we went, again, just the entire place was decorated, was littered with American patriotism and American iconography. But that's the thing that's really frustrating is because MAGA is more superficially patriotic in the sense that they're more likely to wear, again, the American flag and sing that Lee fucking Greenwood song. But when it comes to like the core fundamentals of what makes this country great at its greatest, they don't give a fuck. And, I know Pisco and I constantly bitch about the presidential immunity decision, but to me, if you embrace that, that's hard to square with the notion of being a patriot, because what you really want is a fucking monarch, right? So these people have no credibility to lecture anybody on what it is to be American, and Trump is really doing a full court press in this administration. I mean, with respect to museums, like we heard about, like what he's wanting to editorialize the Smithsonian. Yeah, like it's just like, bro, you have no grounds in this, and Trump doesn't actually know American history. That's the other thing. In addition to the hypocrisy of MAGA, Donald Trump is not particularly educated on American history, so again, no credibility on it. You were saying
Josiah, he knows very much about the airports during the Civil War. I'm pretty sure he's heard all about those.
They took over the rampart. You do a better Trump than I do. Remember the quote where he's like, they took over the ramparts, the airports.
Yeah, it's just, like clearly misspoke, but no, that's what I meant the whole time. Well, I was going to say though, it is funny because no matter how much people on our side are going to embrace the love of the country and the values, there's something that's inherently right-wing coded about being blindly patriotic, and we're never going to get there. And as much as we'll make fun of them with the Newsom stuff, it's the idea of like unquestioning, wavering support for whoever's in power is very right-wing coded. And so that's why, like, even when Newsom makes these hats that say patriot on it to make fun of the whole Trump phenomenon,
People will mistake that for a Trump hat.
Yeah, if you wear one of those out, people are going to think you're right-wing, even though it's the Newsom thing. And that's unfortunate because I do love America and I want to promote patriotism, but that dogmatic blind thing is always going to belong to the right. So
Can I play this 40-second clip
Yeah.
on the topic of Newsom merch?
He seems to have found ground, legs, with the left by mocking President Trump. Like a ChatGPT personality, he's just borrowing
Did he fuck that up? Was he like...
It's Bidenism that's going around.
now.
Wait,
from
one more
President-
time. I'm curious.
By mocking President Trump. Like a ChatGPT personality, he's
Oh,
just
he misspoke.
borrowing now from President Trump.
Fucking
Copying
loser.
his style
Retire.
with X posts. Now he's even going for his own MAGA-style merch. The shop includes items like Newsom was right about everything hat. Or he has a
I'm buying that, by the
Newsom
way.
2026 mug. He even has a Bible priced at $100.
It's a joke.
This I think was a meme. I don't think he
Already
was
sold
actually
out.
selling Bibles, but he should have though.
Personality.
He absolutely fucking should. And then people, I'm gonna start going to church, and I'm gonna start bringing that with me if he sells a Newsom Bible just to troll people.
did you guys see
Newsom
the
26
very
one?
good political cartoon? And it was some MAGA guy being like, "This is ridiculous and offensive," and it's Gavin Newsom holding a mirror up to him, and
Yeah.
it's like, I'm just doing what you've been doing, and I think he's nailed it definitely.
Well, I'm curious, IRI, because you and Hutch both call Governor Newsom your governor, and I'm curious, how do you think he's doing? Are you pleased with the Newsom-nator? That's what I'm gonna start calling him. I don't know if that's a thing.
I'm very pleased. The Newsom 26 is interesting because he's term limited. So it's like suggesting term limits are just a suggestion, right? He's not running. He doesn't want to run for governor again, but it kind of really puts that in the face of MAGA. I think his referendum's going to win, though. We only have like 60 days till it gets on the ballot, but I think it's going to do well. And I don't know if you guys want to get in a discussion of what comes from that, but I'll let Hutch weigh in on what he thinks of Gavin, but I think he's doing great.
I'll go further and I'll say like I don't know how much better he could be doing right now. Like if you think about it, all the stars are aligning for him politically. It's just really good timing. So this referendum's coming up, and so now he gets to position himself in the middle of this fight in California that has relevance all over the country. And so he's going to be in the news for like the next 2 months. I mean, he didn't really angle for that, but like he was just in the right place at the right time. And this is happening at the same time that his social media team are just putting on an absolute clinic for how to raise someone's national profile. So they all got in a room and they just started spitballing ideas because he's obviously going to run in 2028, and one of the first things you got to do is to raise your name recognition and get people talking about you. Can you imagine a situation where more people are talking about? I mean, I really think like they executed on this like basically perfectly. There's a simpleness to it that there's like kind of like a simple elegance to it that makes it kind of brilliant. Like it's
I'm
not
sorry.
brilliant because it's go ahead.
Counterpoint.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
He's Nina Turner.
Let it be known you brought in black pill lefties into this conversation. It wasn't me.
How long was she talking about do nothing Democrats, and now she's
Yeah.
there was that big thread on the gerrymandering in California, and she's
Bro.
like, who wins in this scenario? We should just let them do it. I cannot believe that this is a former Bernie
wild.
staffer, right? Like that's insane to me.
Well, I can kind of believe that, but I will say
Hutch,
not
I can
because
see it,
I
man.
love
Hutch,
Bernie.
Hutch, you're like, no, I can believe it.
I love Bernie, but some of the staffers are just a little whatever.
Brianna Joy
fair
Graham
enough,
was
fair
a
enough.
former Bernie
I
staffer.
can
Fair enough.
pick some nits. I can pick some nits. So we needed the 52-0 map. There's no reason not to do it. I understand it's like, oh, but we should counter perfectly with the Texas. No, why did we do 52-0? That's a big mistake. Stupid.
There's a lot of discourse about Newsom and questioning his sort of progressive bona fides because, there's a couple things that really stand out. Like there was one, he did a photo op where he was taking down some homeless encampments a couple months ago. And he very obviously did that because he's planning on running in 2028. And he needs to have like a visual of him doing that. And he made a comment about trans people in sports when he was doing his podcast with Charlie Kirk. And now a particular section of the internet that I won't mention, but they're really going after him for those things. But anybody who takes the time to look into Governor Newsom's bills that he signed into law in California, like this dude is by far like the most progressive governor in the country, maybe ever. He's passed over a dozen bills, like literally protecting trans children. We've allocated tens of billions of dollars to fight homelessness in this country, and we've helped to house like thousands of people. Like there's a slow rollout. I think there's room to criticize the way that program has been rolled out, but he's out there like walking the walk in terms of progressive bona fides in ways that none of the people that are criticizing him have even bothered to study up on at all. And
What
drives
about
me
you,
nuts.
IRI, before all this went down? What did you think of Governor Newsom before he started to step up in this
Well,
way?
before I liked him a lot. I love when he picked a fight with DeSantis in Florida and had that debate for no reason, just for the love of the game. I thought this guy is awesome. So he was given a gift by the redistricting in Texas because there's only been a couple of paths to controlling the House in the last few election cycles, and they've mostly gone through districts in New York and California. And now the California ones are going to be off the table for a couple of election cycles, and New York's probably going to redistrict as well, though those maps won't be usable until the next election in 2028.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, if we take those districts off the map, we might control the House for many years to come because these jackals in Texas decided to pick a fight. Don't poke the bear.
Nate Silver said as much, by the way, and it's just a matter of Democrats making the choice, the decision to be fighters as opposed to pushovers and being feckless. And if Democrats don't just be responsive, be proactive. If you really want to get rid of political gerrymandering, then the best thing you could do is usher in a whomping in 2026 and 2028 for the Democrats, because they absolutely will, given the power, get independent redistricting across the country. It's constitutional. All we need is a law. We just need the will to actually fight fire with the rules that the Supreme Court established for us in the Rucho versus Common Cause decision.
With zero defections. Like if we actually got a trifecta, and if by some miracle, which Laksha, he said the best that Democrats can hope for, I think, was 53 or 54 seats. But if by some miracle we got 60 Democrat senators or democratically aligned senators, including independents like Bernie, they would pass the John Lewis voting rights bill, and then the other
filibuster reform. We're
just get rid of the filibuster.
Just
get rid of the filibuster.
Or I mean, maybe I don't know.
If we get a couple more progressive.
I think that when nuclear proliferation is happening, what you're supposed to do is not build up your arsenal at all and make sure your opponent can do everything in their power to have all the leverage against you. Because you can't be seen as just as bad as them, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of embarrassed that Hutch and IRI and PSCO are wanting to fight fire with fire. When you do that, all you get is more fire, okay? And we have to stand on principle. Fire. We have to
stand on this notion like that there's a principle that we should be in every situation against partisan gerrymandering. That's a stupid principle to have. I think a better principle is we're in favor of nonpartisan redistricting if and only if everyone has to do it and everyone plays by the same rules. That's a much smarter principle. So I just don't know why people would be in principle committed to this no partisan gerrymandering, even if the other side is doing it and facing no penalty for doing it and getting all the benefits from it.
IRI, did you hear about that progressive state? You have a bicameral legislature in California, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was part of the state assembly or the state house, state senate. I don't know what your bicameral legislature is comprised of, but his first name is Alex, and he went viral. Brian Tyler Cohen just ripped him a new asshole.
Lee, assembly member.
Lee?
Yeah, assembly member Lee.
Yeah. Because he was like, he also kind of adopted the Nina Turner approach, like, oh, this is a race to the bottom. We can't do this. And I'm curious, when I know it passed the legislature, so at this point it's only the November 4th ballot initiative, but do you expect any sort of, now that it's passed the legislature, between now and the referendum, do you expect any sort of outspoken Democrats within California to speak up about it, or do you think that they have pretty much fallen in line and will shut up?
Yeah, I don't think there's a lane to speak against it, because for me, this is an opportunity to sour people on gerrymandering nationwide. And I've actually had a lot of conservatives that I've talked to on TikTok in debates tell me, I'm not happy with gerrymandering, like on both sides. And I think that if we go as far as we can with this nuclear gerrymandering war, we might end up on the other side a couple years from now getting rid of gerrymandering. So to me, this is a path to getting rid of gerrymandering, because I think this is one of the biggest problems in America. We end up sending lunatics like Marjorie Taylor Greene to Congress. Congress can't get anything done. They can't update our laws. And I think a lot of our problems in this country stem from outdated laws, not addressing modern day problems.
Yeah, no, I think what you touched on there is perfect. The idea that not only are we fighting back and showing, hey, we're not going to let you just steal all these seats, but it's also poisoning the idea of gerrymandering against the people who just weren't on board with that now. And once you've woken those people up to the idea of being against it, it's like, okay, well, hey, guess what? Once we're in power, we will get rid of this. So support us if you don't like gerrymandering. Meanwhile, the Republicans have never, ever run on the platform of de-escalating.
Well, one is actually one actually from California, congressman. He's a member of the House of Representatives. Is it Kevin Kiley, who has introduced legislation?
Kiley,
Kiley, and he's blowing up Mike Johnson on Twitter, like, hey, I want you to bring this to a floor and let's vote and let's end this gerrymandering arms race with a federal gerrymandering
No
ban.
chance, no shot,
It's
never
just like
gonna
the,
happen.
Epstein files,
Well, he's
right? It's like,
toast.
oh, you care about this? All right, cool. Here's the bill. Release them. Nah,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
What were you
Never
saying?
gonna
toast.
happen.
His district is on the chopping block, and I think he's looking out for himself.
Well,
But
fuck.
Eric
I'll
Swalwell's
take
been
it.
clowning on him nonstop about it.
That'll be
I'll
a
take
nice.
it. I mean, good for Newsom putting the fear of God in these people, right? Like, hey, that's proper motivation. Hey, you want to save your ass, then you better back a fucking universal gerrymandering bill before these Texas maps go into effect. But yeah, I
And in the
agree, this isn't
interim,
going anywhere.
in the interim, before we have this beautiful utopia of no partisan gerrymandering, we can maybe get rid of some of the most obnoxious Congress members in the Republican caucus, which are like the Mike Lawlers of the world. These
I
fucking
knew you were
people
gonna
who just
fucking say that. I
fuck
knew
Mike
it.
Lawler.
I
These
knew.
like moderate Republicans who masquerade as moderate and who go and like try to virtue signal and are so sanctimonious on talk shows. It would be really nice to see them, brought down a peg or two.
Look, dread him, run from him. He is inevitable. Like I don't know, man. But I like my internal stock for Newsom is just skyrocketed.
It's
recently.
early
hold on,
days,
Hutch.
early
I heard
days.
from Tim Pool that Thanos, who you just alluded that Newsom was
Is
like,
a utilitarian?
He's a utilitarian and the
Yeah.
bad guy. So,
Right,
did you ever think about that?
Tim Pool reference.
I mean, I feel like even if you don't like Newsom, I feel like you should still, number one, be able to appreciate just how much he's put on a clinic for how to raise your national profile. But also, number two, like he's doing a good job of acting as a foil for Trump. Like every time he's getting these successful dunks, like Trump looks a little bit silly. And so you should be rooting for him in that respect. And then you can root against him in the primary. But
Yeah, I mean, let's look at the initial dividends that this is this is paying here. So
You guys keep saying
Newsom
that, like stocks,
raises-
dividends. Is there a Newsom coin I can invest in, or
not yet.
Yeah,
That's
it's
coming.
more their capitalist framing now that we lost our only socialist.
Exactly. Well, again, we're becoming slowly a command economy under the
Private
Trump
property is
administration,
theft, my
so-
friend.
Newsom raises $6.2 million in first week of redistricting fight. The figure makes plain how a gerrymandering push that began in Texas but has spread nationwide has energized the Democratic base. And I'm pretty sure in the betting markets, he is the clear lead. I mean, certainly not a majority, but he's the plurality in the betting markets for the Democratic primary. Obviously, that could change. And his approval rating among California Democrats, I think, is like tripled. I think it was like 25% of California Democrats polled in 2023 wanted him to run for president, and now it's 75 fucking percent.
he's gonna take over. He's gonna start leading Kamala in national polls. Like I predict that in the next like 3 months for sure. Especially if this measure passes.
Right? Yeah, but she's
Listen, I think she's gonna run, man. I think she's a fighter. I think she likes the fight. I think she's gonna run.
no. I'm sorry to clarify. What I mean is like I agree that he will also start to lap her in the polls. He's already done so in some of them, but she's inactive at the moment. So like when if she wants to run in 2028, how do you think an active Newsom versus an active Harris?
Well,
will pan
if
out?
he continues with the momentum that he's doing right now, I think he has a really good chance. I mean, like, look, I mean, it's like Pisco said, it's a really long way off. There's really no point in making any firm predictions. It's just like right now, I'm more open to him being the nominee than I was before.
And Gavin's in government right now. He is a governor. And so as much as he's quote putting on a clinic, I think in terms of messaging, Hutch is absolutely correct about that. He has these massive advantages that other Democrats, certainly not in Congress, and certainly, not people who have no role in government like Kamala Harris, he can actually do stuff. He has the benefit of a trifecta in his state legislature, and he can pretty much operate as like a mini president in California and do shit and be visible in ways that affect people's lives. And that's a huge, huge tangible benefit in a way that like, in a sort of context of Republicans controlling all of the federal government, no congressional Democrat is going to have that big perk. It's
Well,
gonna
I
be
kinda-
governors.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it kind of depends because like him being in government could also be kind of a liability, right? Because like we might be heading into a climate where like outsiders are sort of the more palatable option here. Who's this guy Plattner in Maine? Who he does a lot of like populist rhetoric that I don't love, but I think he could be a really strong candidate against Susan Collins.
Well,
I'm
Hutch, it's not
curious-
just the anti-establishment. It's also the, hey, you have a record here in California, and every bad thing that's ever happened in California, we're going to point at that and be like, well, if he did that here, like, I don't know if it was James Woods or one of those washed-up conservative actors posted
man.
some clip of like a homeless person using a fire hydrant to wash themselves, and it's like, this
Yeah.
is Newsom 2028. Like that is
Yeah,
his
yeah.
baggage.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm curious. So I do want Hutch and IRI to talk about this again as California residents. Like,
I am also a California resident.
Are you really?
Yes,
my
I'm
God.
living in
I
San
didn't know this.
Francisco.
Oh shit!
I didn't
Oh my
fucking know
god,
that.
we got 3
Okay.
Cali residents, buddy. I did not know that. Well, okay, so I'm curious. So this is something that I've been hearing a lot, which is that, okay, it's entirely possible that Newsom continues his momentum, wins the primary, gets shellacked in the general precisely because he's a coastal governor, and California has a lot of baggage with half this country, given how much is demonized, not just by the Ana Kasparians of the world, but also pretty much by everybody on the right. So I'm curious, as people who live in California, is it possible, do you think it's likely that your state carries with it a stigma to the rest of the country such that it would undermine any bid by Governor Newsom or I guess I would say Harris, but she was vice president, so she might be able to like separate herself from the fact that California is her home state. But do you think that California could cut against Newsom in the general?
Well, I would say I don't think Kamala being from California hurt her. I don't know how you guys feel, but I don't recall it being brought up like, oh, look at all the bad stuff in California that's going to be brought nationwide. It was other concerns about like the Biden administration and affordability, immigration, stuff like that.
Well,
I just think, well, go ahead. Well,
oh, well, don't. I mean, I was just gonna say, like, I feel like Gavin Newsom, he sort of he's like the embodiment of California because of the right wing attacks, and like they've tried to associate California with just like bad, crazy left wing politics. I don't know if she was ever known for being like a California politician when she was in national politics. You know,
Well, she was, Hutch, and this is funny because they tried to get her on this in the same way that during the primary, the Bernie voters were attacking her for being too strict on, what was it, truancy?
yeah,
and
they called her a
weed
cop,
crime,
right?
because
Yeah.
she was in law then. AG was she? I think not district attorney. She
The
was
district
Attorney
attorney
General,
in
right,
San
yeah.
Francisco, and then the AG.
yeah, in San Francisco, and then AG. Right. So the problem is the Republicans tried to bring those things up as a see, look, these things were bad. These were mudsling attacks in the primary, but that's their platform is, oh yeah, I want to crack down on weed and law and order. So it didn't really work. But I think to the extent to which California is going to be a liability for independent voters, not really. The idea that California is this communist, overrun, like horrible state is very much like in the right wing bubble. When you talk to independents, they're like, oh, I love San Francisco, I love LA, I love going there and traveling. The only downside is really that like all the gun nuts, you tell them you're from California and the first response is, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you live there. But they're already bought into this California idea. I don't think they're going to see Newsom on the main stage and be like, oh God, like, well, before I didn't hate California, but now they've shown me the poop map. Ron DeSantis held up the poop map of San Francisco and I can't possibly vote for him.
I'm by the way, in sort of to address a comment, I forget who said it about the populist mood of the country. I think this is Hutch and co-signed by others about the California stuff. I think that the vibes of populism are more have to do with like a person's personality almost. Like JD Vance, if anything, right? He does come from he has like the privilege accolades. Like he worked for this, I think it was venture capitalist. He went to Yale Law School, that kind of thing. But he comes from kind of humble roots. And he is embracing a kind of aversion, or at least, policy-wise, he tries to present himself as more populist. But he just doesn't carry that vibe. And so, in the present moment, I think the Democratic Party, if we're really talking about who's going to be nominated, I think that they want someone with fight. And the people that they're going to look to have the fight are people who are in the position to actually do something. And I think that governors are uniquely placed. People like Tim Walz, people like Newsom, people like Pritzker. They're uniquely placed, I think, to get some big fans based on the ability they're able to do things like, during the era of Trump.
I mean, at the state level, what's a more like extreme version of fighting than amending the state constitution? I mean, that's
right. Yeah. Totally agree.
All of these Democratic politicians, they've all seen the polls where their own base is revolting against them. People have been talking about it for weeks. Lowest approval ratings maybe in history for the Democratic Party right now. Yep. And that's largely driven by their own voter base, frustrated because they want to see more fight. I have issues with that because I think there's like plenty of fighting going on. The Texas legislature is a really good example, but obviously Newsom saw those polls just the same as everybody else did. And that's why I said it's like the stars aligning for him right now, because this gave him just a perfect cover to just jump in there and say, like, look at me, look how much I'm fighting. We're going to fucking amend our constitution.
Well,
he could wear it as welcome, though. Just gotta be careful on the memes. I think he's leaning in pretty hard. It could wear thin.
Yeah, so you mentioned Pritzker. I do want to transition to him in just a second because he gave a bit of a barn burner speech just a few hours ago, so we'll definitely get some reaction to that. But again, I guess to close the loop, I know you mentioned that Kamala Harris didn't have the quote-unquote California stigma used against her, but with respect to Governor Newsom, do you expect that might be there, given that he's the governor and she never was, or are you really not that worried about it if he were the candidate?
I'm not that worried about it. I'm with Hutch. I think people want a fighter, and that's what's standing out right now. And he could just get out there and throw some homeless tents into a dumpster or something and win all those skeptical people over or something, as harsh as that may sound.
Jesus. Would he take the homeless people out of it first, or would he just?
No, of course not. No,
Jesus.
I'm just saying he could show that he's tough on the things people are concerned about: homelessness, crime. He can go out there and do some performative politics and maybe tamp down those flames. That's all.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
even
trans comment that Hutch you brought up, that is in spite of his very progressive pro-trans legislation, he's signaling that he's not like, oh, I'm not the super radical Kamala trans candidate that people perceived Kamala as, despite her not being. But he's able to do both of these. He's able to pass the important progressive legislation, but also signal that he's not some like radical progressive person that, yeah.
Which is exactly the job, though. You have to excite the base, and you have to sort of appeal to more moderates or independents types. And he's kind of trying to talk out of both sides of his mouth, because there's, even though there's pictures of him tearing down an encampment or whatever, the actual policy that's in place is that we don't throw these people's possessions away. We hang on to them until they come and pick them up. And we give them 48 hours notice, and they send someone to help find that person housing at the same time. So it's kind of a tricky situation politically, I think, for Newsom, because you're in this state like California, which is supposed to be, and it is the most progressive state in the country. A lot of progressives feel like we should be much more compassionate and aggressive when it comes to tackling homelessness. And so that PR move of him tearing down the encampments, those pictures will like benefit him and, with like independent voters or whatever. But it's also coupled with policy where we're actually trying to house homeless people. So, yeah.
You mentioned Laksha too, again, before we transition to Pritzker. I will say that FY Pod, and that's a Gen Z progressive who, I'm blanking on his name, but he co-hosts like a regular show with Tim Miller of the Bulwark, and he had
Cameron
Laksha on.
Caskey, I think his name
Caskey.
is.
There you go. That's it.
He's one of the survivors of Parkland, I think, the shooting in Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's pretty sharp. I see him on MSNBC and I think maybe even CNN as a regular guest. But he had Laksha on his show, and Laksha, the video dropped today. Laksha believes, even though, of course, in terms of policy, he more aligns with Governor Newsom than AOC. He thinks that actually AOC is still the stronger choice for the Democratic candidacy of the two of them in 2028. So you should definitely check that video out, because
I would vote for her before Newsom.
You what?
I would vote for her over Newsom right now. But Newsom is rising in stock. I think that he's doing what needs to be done. Here's another guy.
Governor Pritzker, obviously another big aggressive governor, making the case against Trump here lately. Obviously Newsom's taking the lead, but Pritzker's flexing, and he gave the speech. And I want to play a couple of clips here, starting with this one.
Crime is a reality we all face in this country. Public safety has been among our highest priorities since taking office. We have hired more police and given them more funding. We banned assault weapons, ghost guns, bump stocks, and high-capacity magazines. We invested historic amounts into community violence intervention programs. We listened to our local communities, to the people who live and work in the places that are most affected by crime, and asked them what they needed to help make their neighborhoods safer. Those strategies have been working. Crime is dropping in Chicago. Murders are down 32% compared to last year and nearly cut in half since 2021. Shootings are down 37% since last year and 57% from 4 years ago. Robberies are down 34% year over year. Rate have Republican governors.
There we go.
Occupations, take note.
He loves the double
13
standard.
of the top 20 cities in homicide rate have Republican governors. None of these cities is Chicago. 8 of the top 10 states with the highest homicide rates are led by Republicans. None of those states is Illinois. Memphis, Tennessee, Hattiesburg, Mississippi have higher crime rates than Chicago, and yet Donald Trump is sending troops here and not there? Ask yourself why. If Donald Trump was actually serious about fighting crime in cities like Chicago, he, along with his congressional Republicans, would not be cutting over $800 million in public safety and crime prevention grants nationally, including cutting $158 million in funding to Illinois for violence prevention programs that deploy trained outreach workers to de-escalate conflict on our streets.
And we're going to play some other clips too.
Can you pause real quick, though? I want to
go
make
ahead.
a point.
Yeah.
And it's put it aside the authoritarianism aspect of the deployments, which I don't think you should put aside, but like take on face value that Trump's deployments are to affect crime. He's fucked himself over. Why? Because suppose that the program, crime rates don't actually come down any meaningful amount, and there's no big impact from this, and maybe even crime goes up or something. Let's say that nothing happens or it goes up. Well, you can just call Trump a failure. You say it didn't help any policies. And if the crime rate goes down, you're doing it, in Democratic-run places. If you're concentrating all your efforts in Democrat places, they're not going to vote for you. And, you're probably going to make these people like happier citizens. And, maybe even Newsom will take some of the credit for her, or like one of these governors is going to take the credit. So I just don't understand, if you just take it from a purely pragmatic perspective, if you really think this is about lowering crime rates, it doesn't seem, in my opinion, that it's good tactics.
Don't we have polls on him sending in military to Los Angeles and DC that show it's unpopular? I don't want to make that
Very.
up. But
Yeah,
Very
they're
similar,
unpopular.
yeah.
Not just within the locality or the municipality or even the state, but at the federal level.
Do you guys mind if
Well,
I conservative out
earlier-
real quick, actually?
Do you mind if you what?
I need to
Conservative out?
conservative out a little bit, because as much as I agree with most of what he's saying there, when he talks guns and he says we banned assault weapons, ghost guns, and bump stocks, I swear to God, I know that gun owners, independent and right wing, hear that and they just want to vomit, because like the assault weapon talking point is just always comes from this very uninformed liberal place of this gun looks scary and I'm going to ban it. And I think that, I mean, I don't know if he's going to run, but that
he
hurts
probably has a lot of
independents.
he probably has a lot of pressure on him being, governor of a state that has the city with the worst gun violence in the country, besides DC. But I guess that's not a state. But I'm sure he's got a lot of pressure on him because of Chicago. So I mean,
Yeah.
I agree with you. I just think that's
I
probably
had
where
a
that
feeling
comes
you would, Hutch. I was like, Hutch plays video games. He knows.
Well,
I,
build on what
yeah, go ahead.
build on what Soy Pill is saying is the problem is people don't know where you're drawing the line. So they think what comes next. And I think that's the lesson for me from 2024 is we got to draw the line for people so their imagination doesn't run wild. But when it comes to this National Guard, I don't think the point is to reduce crime in any way, though Trump's bragging about certain things.
Yeah.
It's political theater for his base and to show people he's doing something. And that's what I think the lesson learned here is. And that's why I kind of made a joke about throwing tents in the trash. Obviously, I'm joking. But the point is, show, don't tell. I don't think all these facts by Pritzker make people feel better because they see a couple videos on Twitter and they're like, yo, crime's out of control in my city, even though they feel safer in general. So it doesn't make people feel better to be like, violent crime is down 30%. You got to be performative in today's social media day and age.
You know what's interesting though, and I take your point there, and I mean that was something about like, that was the ultimate failure politically of Bidenomics, even though the macroeconomic metrics were really favorable for Biden, certainly compared to any other advanced economy. The lesson was you just can't logic people out of how they feel, and when I hear you say that the show don't tell and I think somebody else brought up that Governor Newsom, for example, to go back to him for a second, will have to politically answer for anything, I think it was Soy Pill, for anything bad that is shown in California. They're going to show like James Woods, an image of a homeless person. And I wonder I don't know how we're going to be able to deal with that as a party. And here's what I mean. Because we see this in conversations about rhetoric. We see this in conversations about, the crazies on the left and how much they represent the Democratic Party. Like you have Republicans saying, I think there was a protester outside of the Republican nominee in Virginia, the gubernatorial nominee whose name escapes me. There was like this really heinous sign about if trans people can't be at bathrooms, black people can't be at my bathroom, something like that. And Republicans have run roughshod with it. Now, this is just a random person at a protest, and they're being, now representative of the entire Democratic Party, or at least the Republican propaganda machine is trying to make that happen. I just don't know, given like the complex influences, like I think Pisco just said, Pritzker's probably got a lot of pressure on him, being the governor of a blue state. Like you put all this together, I don't know how we can. I don't know how we as a party can do well in an environment where any stray image or any stray comment is representative of the party in the worst possible way. Meanwhile, you have all sorts of unhinged fascist imagery coming out of the Trump administration, and it doesn't seem to be landing as much. Like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Seems
Well,
like
no, yeah, this was our whole debate, Josiah, that I had with Wick, and it's like, look, we played this game for a while, which is, oh, we can't stoop to their level, we can't be mean, we got to take the high road, and it's like, no, because they're just going to take, no matter what, if we are perfect in everything, they're going to take some Twitter guy with 2 followers and a like on a tweet and turn that into the entire campaign messaging. That's why the she's for they them thing works so well. So as long as we don't hold ourselves to some absurd standard, and I think Newsom is breaking from that form and saying, look, fuck it, I'm going to go and do whatever it takes to fight back, I don't think that's going to be an issue, because they're not going to do it. So, but go ahead, Hutch.
I want to put a different spin on what you said, because I had Laksha's voice kind of in the back of my mind, reminding me of what
he's
he
in
said
there
at
with
the
you,
time.
isn't he? Laksha!
I keep him in the closet. Yeah, I feed him fish and stuff. But
All right.
no, like I think that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is like what you're looking at in terms of the Republicans. People are repulsed by that stuff. Like, we just had an election in 2024. We have these very slim margins in Congress, and he barely eked out a win against a candidate who only had 4 months to campaign. And the rest of the incumbent parties around the world are losing by a lot more. So I don't know. I feel like it's understandable to take that position right after an election loss, but I think there are so many good reasons to feel optimistic going into 2026 and 2028.
Well, IRI is the eternal optimist here, so I'm definitely interested in what he has to say, especially since this tangent kind of began with him. But I'm thinking about it, and like even going back to the conversation with Laksha, which is, he's like, listen, Republicans underperform, and I'm like, that's actually kind of fucking scary, isn't it? Like, I'm glad they're underperforming, but it's like Congress and the presidency have been changing hands fairly regularly, so it's like Republicans underperforming is comparable to Democrats our overperforming is only comparable to their underperform. You know what I'm saying?
She didn't overperform though in 2024.
So no. Well, I mean, no, the Democratic Party, as you often point out, just the Democratic Party collectively over the past several election cycles has done extremely well, all things considered. We overperformed in 2023. In some ways, you could say we overperformed in 2022, the midterms, because we didn't lose by much the House.
We definitely
did
overperformed.
very well.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. Is despite a year where Democrats overperformed, they still took back the House. And so, like, what you bring up Laksha, and I'm thinking, I remember viscerally when he made that comment, he's like, actually, no, we have the data to show that Republicans are underperforming. And I'm like, and it's still a fucking coin flip every election.
Well, think back
us
to
overperforming, them underperforming.
Think back to 2016. I mean, he was in a way better position in 2016. He had like 40 seat majority in the House. He had similar margins in the Senate, but I'll take 2024 over 2016.
No. But to me, that just reinforces my point. Like, it's only shifting back and forth a couple of seats. Like with the last Democratic blowout that we had in the House was 2018. That's why I'm concerned about this environment where I think IRI is right that for better or worse, we'll have to answer for all these like stray images and these comments or whatever. But I'm really concerned about that.
Well, I think we get ahead of it by putting our own out there. And I think this last election was a fluke, and people will disagree with me, but we had a geriatric candidate fell apart very quickly. We had Kamala with 100 days. We were screwed, and we had the pandemic where incumbent parties were getting tossed. I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel here. As you guys pointed out, we did well in 2022. I mean, really well. Normally you get your teeth kicked in the first midterms for presidential administration. We did great. We did great in 2021. Yeah, we did great in 2021 with the off-year elections. We did great. I mean, we did okay, but we did good in 2020. We did great in 2018. So I think now, especially with Trump and everything that's happening, we're going to be just fine. I don't think we have to worry about it. But I will finally just say the redistricting is going to play a huge role, like I said earlier, in my opinion, because the path to controlling the House over the last few cycles came through California and New York, and those are going to be off the table moving forward. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about much.
The New York won't in 2026, and red states like Illinois and Florida and Indiana, Missouri, like I know Florida has just flat out said that they plan to redistrict. I don't know if Ohio, Indiana, and Missouri have actually made a decision on it, but like that's the other thing too is as it currently stands, when you look at the dispensation of like Democratic trifectas versus Republican trifectas, they have more potential to redistrict than we do. Which again, I still think we need to wage this war, because what's the alternative? We roll over and they do it anyway? Nah, fuck that. At least we have some sort of fighting chance. But yeah, I am very much concerned about 2026 and 2028, to say nothing of what if he deploys ICE and the National Guard, as Bannon suggests, at polling places around
You
the time
know,
of the
I
election.
don't you feel like that's going to cause it's not Streisand effect, but like, don't you think that could provoke like a huge turnout for Democrats? Like if he actually did that, I could see that backfiring for sure. Because what's he going to do? Stop people from voting with ICE? No, I mean, like the worst thing that he'd be able to do is like position military people outside of voting booths or whatever. But this happens sometimes when they try to do like voter ID laws. We've seen that happen a number of times in Republican districts where they try to do these voter ID laws, and then it pisses off Democrats who show up in larger numbers. And so I feel like he could very easily overplay his hand. And then Democrats are already, in terms of modern history, way more engaged in off presidential election cycles. And if you add that on top of it, bro, that would motivate me like fuck. I mean, I'm going to vote in every election, but yeah.
Well, no, Hutch, I want to add to that. Like one of the most plausible defenses for the Trump sycophants in the past 10 years has been, oh, like you're calling him a fascist dictator, but oh, come on, he's just doing this or he's just doing that. And as soon as he does something that's so optically bad that they can't defend, that is going to win over everyone. It's like just unequivocally like, oh shit, he is putting the military at the place where you're supposed to vote and trying to scare people away from voting. Like you can't hide that. You can't obscure that between some like state Supreme Court law about an ID that sometimes black people don't have, and you got to explain this to people. It's like, nope, here's the guns pointed at the people trying to vote. I think that's going to invigorate people way more than anything else he does.
Also, like he is for sure diminishing. Donald Trump is for sure. Like, I don't know if you guys
do you want to talk about the bruise?
Bro, I mean, there's the bruise, but like he did two things today. Wow, the first thing he did was he was in the Oval Office with the president of South Korea. Bro, no, hold on. I'm thinking of when he was signing the executive orders. He spoke off the cuff for, I don't know, 20 minutes or something like that. And he
sounds bad, man.
He sounds really bad. Yeah. Like, and he was obviously like personally aggrieved that morning. I don't know if he saw, some negative coverage of him on TV that morning, or if, Melania refused to blow him. He was just in a really bad, yeah, exactly. But he was in a really bad mood, and it was just nothing but like, everyone's so mean to me for fucking 20 minutes. It was pathetic. And
did you see the Wes Moore shit? Like he was like, Wes Moore.
He was the best president ever. Or what did he say?
Yeah, he said he's the best. Okay, we've got to really quick take a detour on that. That's the funniest fucking thing, because he goes up to me at the army game and says, "You're the best president ever," and he'll probably deny that.
He's not doing well. He's just
my favorite fucking thing. This is just the best thing ever. So after Trump makes that goddamn claim, you have this schmuck, Will Cain, trying to defend it. This is the funniest one. This is so good. It's so good.
Knocking the hell out of him. Wes Moore is posting on social media saying that President Trump can't walk, but maybe he should walk the streets of Baltimore. It didn't take him long to respond to the president there in the Oval Office. He said, LOL, keep telling yourself that, Mr. President. It'd be wild, though, if only we had the footage that President Trump had referenced about them meeting at the Army-Navy game. And thanks to the Art of the Surge on Fox Nation, we have the footage.
Mr. President, welcome back to Maryland, sir. Welcome back to Maryland. It's good to see you. In person, too. Thank you, sir. Great to see you. Great to see you. And great to have you back here. Great to have you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we are very, very anxious to be able to work closely with you, and I know the Key Bridge is something that we're specifically focused on. It's going well. I mean, we spoke with Speaker Johnson yesterday, and Speaker Johnson says he believes that we're close to the 100% cost share. And the thing is, I told him when we get that 100% cost share done, we are going to be able to open the Key Bridge under your watch, because I will have it done in 28, on time and on budget. We'll help you out. Thank you, sir.
Look, Josiah.
Wait. No. You gotta hear the fucking final part. This is the best part, because Trump said, Wes Moore said, "You're the greatest president ever," and Will Cain says we have the footage.
We'll help you out. Thank you, sir.
We didn't hear their greatest president ever, but we did hear a lot of enthusiasm. I'm so excited to meet you, Mr. President. Who's telling the truth? We'll let you decide.
What?
Oh my God.
No, Josiah, you don't know about this thing. It's called body language. It's what they're saying. They're saying, look, you can see it in his eyes. You look at him, he's saying, I love you, Mr. President. He's looking right at me. He's not making eye contact. And just because he didn't use words, you can read it on his face, okay? So just because you don't know.
Hey,
it's very
Oh,
obvious.
dude, I was just about to give you advice that you need to work in more, but then you did it at the end there. You got it in there.
Why I say hydrate, make sure he has the requisite amount of phlegm. Has nothing to do with his fitness routine.
I'll start
He's just saying
snorting
lubricated.
Sudafed just to get the nasally drip.
Daz Vidania gave me a super chat that said the overperformance is relative. Dems overperformed relative to what you'd expect in a midterm in which we were in power. We overperformed because it was supposed to be a difficult environment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
just-
relative means. Relative
Yeah,
to
that's
something.
That's so
Oh.
fucking cringe. I just you saying that about the Westmore thing, like, god damn, that Will Kane is such a I can't believe he said that. So sure, he didn't actually say the thing that Trump said he said, but who's telling
We
the
have
truth?
the tape.
Did he? Yeah.
Play
Did he
the
watch
tape.
the tape first? Like, did he know
I don't think
what
he
was-
did.
Play the tape.
I think it would have been funny if it cut back and his chair was just empty and spinning because he's like, fuck that, I'm out of here.
What was the Sean Hannity clip where it was coming out that he was involved with Trump in some? Maybe it was
He fucked him.
the felony cases, and he's like, anyway, who cares about that? Let's go to this high-speed chase, and just like immediately like ignores the clip. they just
Oh,
showed.
I think I know what you're talking
No,
about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
These Fox people always do that. Whenever there's some like horrible news cycle, they did it with Epstein too. When he was in the news, they were like not talking about it.
Who cares? Who
Yeah, who
cares?
cares about Epstein? Speaking of Epstein, did you hear that Trump was really nice in every encounter he had with Ghislaine Maxwell and did nothing wrong at all?
Totally exonerated. Yeah.
Totally
But the funny
exonerated.
thing is, she exonerated everybody, including herself. So it's kind of
Yeah.
hard for the MAGA to believe it.
Well, but although she did confirm, and we have this confirmed, Epstein did not kill himself. So at least we have that.
And she's now in a minimum security prison where they have like yoga instructions. A child rape, a literal child rapist is in a minimum
Weird that that
security prison.
happened.
Yeah, that's fucking insane. Yeah.
I
Apparently-
bet she'll get a pardon. I bet she'll get a pardon.
Pisco, remind me of this. Like I've been reading, given her status, that transfer goes against Bureau of Prison policy, right? Like you have to have.
I
some
have
sort
no
of, like,
clue, dude. What does policy mean these days? Policy just means whatever
That's fair.
Trump wants.
That's true.
Well, she had to get a waiver. She's the from
That's
what I
right.
read, she's the only prisoner with her type of record that is in minimum security right now. So it's definitely some favors.
Wait,
Oh
can I
no,
ask
it's
It was
totally
the
also
auto
for
pen. It
for
was-
the deputy AG, who was Trump's personal lawyer, to conduct an actual interview of a key witness, a key criminal, a key convicted sex criminal, and do it in such a brazen way where she's angling for a pardon. That's totally normal, and the transfer is also very, very normal. Just like the Qatari plane, which we're not talking about anymore. Just like
Because we
the
forgot,
crypto
like you
schemes
said it,
that
and
we're
I
not-
forgot about it. I fucking
Yeah, it didn't exist. It's like
There-
I don't have
There's
a
no
theory of a
object
mind.
permanence.
Yeah,
there's no
permanence.
object permanence when it comes to Trump being a fucking authoritarian or fucking corrupt. We have all, yeah.
The
wait, I
fucking,
have
the
to
fucking
say-
South Park episode from last week was so vindicated this week. I don't know if you guys saw the South Park episode. There's a clip where a bunch of world leaders are showing up and giving him like a gift and saying he doesn't have a tiny penis. And then like just today he was just like, look at this thing I got over here. He gave me a gold fucking World Cup thing. Like it was so
Bro.
vindicated so perfectly.
It's so embarrassing. I did a video about it. Like I was reviewing the second part of that Oval Office executive order signing that you mentioned. I didn't see all the clips because sometimes I just like to do like a reaction in the shot. And did you, I or I might have seen this, but did you see the one where they give him a fucking badge? Did you see this? It's
didn't
the
see that one yet.
cringiest shit.
It's like Herschel Walker. It's like Herschel Walker all over again. They gave him
badge.
They gave him a golden fucking sheriff's badge with a cuff key, pocketed into it because he's uncuffing law enforcement. was the whole thing.
It is of all of the clips from today, and there were some bad ones. I think in some ways this is the most embarrassing. This is just so cringe.
Well, excuse me, I think Gaddy Serralta had something he wanted to give you on behalf of all the law enforcement who are out there every
Mr.
single night.
President, yes, thank you for putting me in charge of this surge as the Director of the United States Marshal Service. It's the
Also
oldest
hiding his
law
hand a lot in this clip.
enforcement agency. It was created in 1789. So on behalf of all the federal law enforcement agencies that we're working with and those that have yet to join the team, we thought it was only appropriate to present you with
They gave him a toy badge.
honorary United States Marshal Service badge.
Oh my god.
And this badge comes with this little item right here.
He's like a fucking toddler.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
which is a handcuff.
It's a
to
Happy
you,
Meal.
Mr. President, because you continue through your policies and your efforts with your staff to unhandcuff
my.
law enforcement officers all over this nation.
Yeah,
And
you
I can tell you
fucking-
personally,
That's
say thank
Sheriff
you for
Deputy
that.
President Trump to you,
This
buddy.
is my
You can continue
my
unhandcuffing
personal
law
butt plug,
enforcement.
sir, and I want you to use it.
I'll save that and put it someplace up.
He's hiding his hand, by the way. Watch. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
we're
he's
going to put
there.
that on the
It's there.
tiny presents table. The big presents table is over there. Maybe next time you can bring me something better.
Wow. That's, man.
The
It's
tone of their
funny.
voice. That's the thing. It kills. It's not just. It's really not just the badge. It's how they act. The tone of their voice. Like he jumps up an octave. You saw Pam, the fucking Attorney General of the United States, goes and I think that the marshal here has something for you. And
He's got
like,
a badge for you, honey.
What do you say,
What do
Mr.
you say?
President?
You know what, dude?
JD Vance busts through the fucking door like Kool-Aid
Wait.
Man. He's like, "Did you even say thank you?"
Somebody clip this and send it to Gavin Newsom's people. Newsom should send him a fucking play fire truck. Like one of he should literally send
Like
it to
just a
him, take a
Tonka
picture of
truck.
it. Because Trump today, he keeps saying this lie. It's the craziest lie that he ever says. He keeps repeating this lie that he put out the fires in California by releasing that water from Central California. Not a
Did you
drop.
or IRI or Soy Pill give him credit for that? Did any of you?
We did not say thank
Doesn't
you.
deserve it.
He keeps saying it, and no one in his orbit has the nerve
I
to tell
stopped
him.
the fire.
"Sir."
I'm
I'm actually on the
firefighter.
wait list for the gift queue, but there's just so many people in line. It's going to take a while.
He should send him
Blaming
straight up.
DEI is better than blaming the river at this point.
I'm curious, IRI, when you have these, because at this point it sounds like you do more debates with MAGA people than probably all of us combined at this point, even Pisco. I'm curious, when this shit comes up, like, do people defend it, or they're like, nah, yeah, this is actually kind of cringe that he's acting like a fucking spoiled boy king and being treated that, like, that's actually kind of patronizing in it, isn't it? Like, any self-respecting chief executive be like, why are you talking to me
Would
like
you
that? Why
just,
are you-"
yeah. He looks like he's fucking infirm. He looks like he's not doing well.
But no,
Has anyone
IRI,
walked
seriously,
up
like,
and done the little like this, it's like right in front of him, like, oh,
They-
Mr. President, will you please give
No,
our
they-
union some money?
They don't care about any of this. They don't watch this stuff. To them, it's just about the border. It's about the National Guard is based coming in and bringing down crime. Just not one nonsensical thing after another. But they don't see this stuff. They don't care.
This man IRI does not one but 2 4-hour blocks of debating MAGA people. Is it every day, or do you do it 5 days a
I
week?
don't know. I do in the morning about 4 hours, and then in the evening I come on here on Twitch and YouTube and just talk.
Oh, okay.
I don't debate
So,
in the evening.
I mean,
I
even
would if I
so,
could though.
I mean, even that 4 hours every day debating MAGA people. I don't know if I could do that.
That's some Patrick Bateman shit, dude. Like waking up and then immediately go into the routine. Like
he's got the fucking face peel and everything. He's shirtless.
There is a concept of an IRI, but I'm simply not there.
No, it's a great learning experience. I hear the talking points straight from them, and it makes me okay. I got to go look this up. I got to go see what this is about. You know what I mean?
Are you? Would you say you are a measurably better debater than you were 6 months ago?
Oh, huge. My audience numbers reflect that. I started out at like 200, 250 viewers, and now I'm upwards of 1,500. So, and that's not because of raids or anything. And, that's because I think I've gotten much better at debating. But it made me reflect on, why do I have my positions, like why is crime down 30% in DC? So I look a little further into this stuff. What have they enforced? What have they put into play to make it happen? So it just makes me research a little more.
When
Actually, a lot more.
You had a moment that I saw on Twitter go viral a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if anybody else saw it, but you were having a conversation with, I guess, a regretful MAGA voter. You basically hung up on her. Can you walk us through what the fuck happened there? Because even I, who
Wait, is there a clip of that? Put it up. Let's see it.
If you've got the link, I will absolutely play it. Do you have that link handy, IRI?
Maybe somebody in my channel can link it.
I'll find it. I'll find it.
It got all the way to like the top of live stream fail, which is hilarious because what am I doing on there? But no, basically I get a lot of people call in that are regretting their decision. I don't believe half of them. So I'm usually kind of skeptical, like, all right, what are you doing here? But yeah, she was crying about, Trump, and I said, well, just vote Democrat in the future. And she was like, yeah, I guess. And she wanted to keep talking, and I just hung up on her.
Yeah, he was like,
Thank you, vote Democrat. Goodbye.
He was like that solves that or something. Like, why can't I find this shit? I'm gonna go through your.
You probably find it on
somebody-
Reddit. If you go to Livestream,
Somebody gave me a link. I'll put it in the. Where do you want me to put it for you?
There's a private chat at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, on the browser here, and just post it there. It's where
Well,
Hutch sends all his dick pics. So we'll scroll.
I have showing the browser on my screen. So let me.
That's
I'll put
okay.
it in the Discord. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll
that's
help.
fine.
Yep.
Wait. Somebody link this. Hopefully.
While I pull this thing up, I'm also curious. Oh, Switch. Fuck. How am I gonna do this? Okay. While I'm
There's a
pulling this
Reddit one
thing
as
up
well.
too.
I see Paperboy has posted the Reddit link in chat.
Yeah, I have the Reddit one I could post too.
Yeah, post the Reddit one.
What up,
please.
Paperboy?
All right.
What happened to Paperboys? Do we still have those?
Someone's delivering them. You think
Yeah.
those papers just come out of nowhere on your driveway?
I'll be honest. This moment did not stand out to me at all. Josiah. This is like another day on the ranch for me. I hang up on a lot of people.
God damn, ice cold.
I'm done with. I'm done with you. You're out of here.
Get
Good
the
night.
fuck out of here. All right, here we go.
I don't need to hear it. Go tell
Moment
a
of
therapist,
truth.
not me, man.
Moment of truth. Here we go.
Oh, I love that.
It's like
You're
American
saying that
study.
the strict AB laws in some Republican-controlled states are leading to harm to women. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and I'm kind of like, I want more information.
Why would you have voted for that though? That's exact. They want to ban it. So like, I
Yeah,
really don't
didn't know
understand
that
why you
that's
would
what
vote
I
for
was
all this.
voting for. I didn't know that that was the outcome at the time. You know?
Okay. Well, vote Democrat moving forward, and you can solve that easy.
Right. Okay. I'll stay.
Problem solved. Moving on.
Oh my god! How did I not see that clip? What a Chad!
Dude,
What a
fucking
fucking
ice
Chad.
cold, man. She was like pouring her soul. She's bearing her soul to you, looking for validation and redemption.
Those tears meant nothing to you.
I know,
You're ice
well-
cold, bro.
No, he licked them off her cheek and was like, perfect vintage, and then rejected her.
Do you get joy out of that, of like regretful voters? It makes me kind of angry sometimes and like
No.
sad. You know?
Yeah, I'm annoyed with them. I'm more interested in the angry MAGA who wants to go toe to toe. I'm not interested in someone having a feel bad moment for me. I don't know.
I think the kids call it trauma dumping.
Yeah, trauma dumping. Like, go tell a therapist. But
But that was like rhetorically effective because you're like, look, you know what to do. I don't need to waste more time on you. If they're not like arguing about policy or anything, they're like, I fucked up. I know what to do next. Cool. Bye. I'm gonna go talk to someone I need to actually.
You know
convince.
what it is? See, Soy Pill, that's you just giving your tally strategy and applying it to the rest of the world.
Tali says she's not sure who she's going to vote for in 2024.
Oh,
so we should be
Tali.
deriding her more.
Is that improvement?
That's the sixth.
No,
guest
it's
of
not.
the-
It's much worse. I would take 1,000
No.
crying
I know.
AB
It's an
people.
improvement from where she was because I can't remember where
No.
she was. Oh.
Actually, but the more I'm looking into it, I think she's just hiding some of her true feelings about who's the most pro-Israel president and trans people. And
Whoa!
she just doesn't want to say it.
Disavow.
I think
disavow
she
the
just
soy
doesn't
pill.
want to say it.
You're calling her a liar. You're saying she's an Israel shill.
Look,
That's a
as
sensitive
a
topic.
Jewish man myself,
You're
I can
Jewish?
I can smell out when we're trying to deceive and connive. Okay.
No one told me that you were Jewish. Not that there's anything
We
wrong
didn't
with
know he was in
Exactly.
California
Exactly.
either.
And what more Jewish of me to hide it from you because I'm trying to deceive you? Now I'm using it to my advantage now, but
That's what the propeller had. It's high. Never mind. I won't go there. But,
whoa, you can't. No, that's my thing. You can't.
Okay. Wait, can I just ask a question? In terms of the voter that you most like to talk to, IRI, is it the kind of ignorant voter who's just kind of clueless who didn't vote? Is it the person who says, they're all the same? Do you have a particular flavor of person where you feel really good after a conversation that you maybe made some like progress?
Yeah, well, I don't make progress usually in my debates with people. It's more for the audience, and I do it as a chance for my crew to hear the misinformation and my rebuttal because I know they're having these conversations in their lives. So, you're in front of an audience, pride is on the line. I don't expect people to change their mind in real time like that, but I know there's people listening. So as far as who do I like talking to the most, the crazier the MAGA, the better, because it gives me a chance to really point out how flawed their thinking, their information is and what the right information is.
Yeah.
So that girl
what you're
is not
saying
who I want to
so
talk
on
to.
point. It's so on point when I get so many messages from people. Hey, my family is this MAGA thing. What do I do when I want to talk about this? And you are giving them good talking points to logically and maybe softly, maybe not softly, depending on how mean you are, explain why they're wrong. That's super important. But I actually do want to contradict you. You doing this is absolutely changing people's minds in real time. Sometimes it's just optics. If you look like, BDE, Big Dick Energy, and you're like, okay, this guy's the right guy, I'm going to go with him. But also sometimes you have the right arguments. That's unironically changes people. I get a lot of emails from people like, oh, you converted me from the right with this debate, or you got this. Like, it is important. It's not for the person you're talking to, it's for the audience. You're right about that.
I should say, you mentioned BDE, and it's funny because I clicked on Hutch's stream earlier today while I was editing a video, and you were talking about your cock on stream. Listen, I heard it for like 20.
This is 2 Hutch cock comments in one show.
I heard it for 20
okay?
seconds. Hutch, I want you to tell them that's true. Tell them it's true that you did talk about it.
I was joking about something, and there was like this left-wing creator who I guess he's new to my content because he didn't pick up that it was like a joke or whatever. Hold on. Speaking of that, though, I'm going to send you a screen cap of my penis. No, of a real conversation I had.
I have to keep scrolling.
Hold on. Go to Twitter DMs. Go to Twitter. That was good. That was good. Go to Twitter DMs because my dad showed up in my Twitch stream right when I started talking about this like jokey thing. Hold on. Put that up on the screen.
Yeah, I will. Hang on one second. I'm just trying to do this in a way that doesn't show the rest of your Twitter DMs.
I think I glanced by this conversation, Hutch. Was it something about personal hygiene that you were joking about?
No, it was about like split streams. I was theorizing that maybe like when you have a split, that's a real exchange.
We're getting deep in the lore here. Dad Cell, I don't need to know about your big cock.
Oh my God.
It is what it is. You remember
I miss my dad.
You inherited it, right?
Just remember where you came from, boy.
No, it was about split streams. Like when you pee and it kind of goes at like a fucking 60-degree angle off to the right, whatever. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So I'm glad you clarified because I thought I was hallucinating. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I know I like make Hutch dick pic jokes, and here you are like giving a fucking TED talk.
That's like, listen, I'm like IRI. That's another fucking Monday for me, bro. That's nothing. Like, that's like the least controversial thing I've talked about in the last week in terms of TMI stuff.
Well, I should
Penis
also
Mondays.
I should also point out here real quick, we do have some breaking news in the sphere of politics. Donald Trump just announced that he fired Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, which is blatantly unconstitutional and authoritarian. This should be challenged in court ASAP. Peace go.
Yeah, so there was a so the case is called X or sorry,
it's X gonna give it to you versus United States.
No. It's Humphrey's Executor. The case is called Humphrey's Executor, and that is a case basically that says there are some positions in the executive branch that are supposed to be insulated from the president's removal authority, the general removal authority that they have constitutionally, and that's been chipped away, Humphrey's Executor, by the Supreme Court, and they've basically allowed a lot of these what are statutorily illegal firings to either stand or to have the status quo be put in place, and have really limited Humphrey's Executor in a way that favors Trump as part of their unending mission to give Trump a victory every single day for any given reason. By the way, I'm just going to completely zag. I'm going to come back. Can we just pause real quick? The Supreme Court basically said it was okay for Trump not to hand over constitutionally enacted like funds to a bunch of different programs, including for like research, but Biden can't stop student loans and stop the obligations of student loans. It's so fucking performative. Like, it's so obvious the Supreme Court is just trying to give Trump a victory at every stage. So Congress passes some enactment that gives funds specifically for a purpose, and Trump can just ignore that, but Biden can't like ignore student loan provisions or waive student loans. That's crazy, in my opinion.
It is fucking crazy. That's why. So I had a conversation. Are any of you?
I do want to go back to it, but I want to give you the opportunity.
Are any of you familiar with Mike Nellis, the White Dudes for Harris Democratic strategist?
Yeah. He goes on Piers Morgan a lot.
Yeah,
I probably recognize him, but no, I don't know his name.
Yeah, you should definitely check out his stuff, and I think he would enjoy a conversation. Definitely with Soy Pill and Hutch because he's unhinged in the best possible way. But he's been making the rounds. He's been dunking on Jesse Waters on his show, Tommy Lauren going back and forth, Piers Morgan.
Speaking of unhinged, did you see the Kyle tweet from today?
Oh my God! Yeah, I retweeted.
We retweeted it.
Yeah,
it has a slur in it.
What did
it has a slur.
I mean,
if you guys aren't following an account called Old Kyle Kalinske Tweets, you absolutely should, because you should go look at the stuff he posted in 2012. Account. It seems like he's going back to his roots. Oh.
Hey, Carissa. Hey, Carissa in the chat. I'm talking to you, Carissa in the chat. You hear me? That wasn't a dig at Biden. That was a dig at the Supreme Court. Open your fucking ears.
Yeah, Carissa.
Come on, Carissa. Anyway, sorry. To bring it back to the
just
what's
to be
going on with the
clear,
Fed.
you guys
Yeah, go.
aren't talking about the Kyle Clincy post where he said, "Let's go heart disease," because that doesn't have a slur in it.
What? You said what now? No, I didn't see that one.
It's a Trump
thought that's the
banner.
one you're
I'll
talking
link
about.
it to you, Josiah, but you can post.
Wait a
this.
minute,
I think
I'll
you
pull
can.
it
This
up.
one's safe to put on screen.
I'll pull it up. Hang on one second.
Listen up, Carissa. Are you going to pull that up or can I explain my law shit?
While
I know
I'm
it's boring to
pulling
you.
it up so you can go
Okay,
ahead and-
I'll be
yeah.
done in 10 seconds. Anyway, so they're chipping away at Humphrey's
Biden,
executor,
Nicole.
this removal authority, and the Supreme Court signaled that the one that they were going to preserve is the Federal Reserve. And so this sets up a confrontation, hopefully, with the Supreme Court, which will stand on business. Let's go, heart disease. Yikes.
Oh my god.
This is.
Why'd you retweet that, Carissa?
Oh, this one.
That's the one.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one. That's vintage 2012 Kyle Kalinske right there.
Yikes.
Look, I asked Gavin Newsom. I said, "Look, Gavin, if you call Donald Trump the R-slur, I'm voting for you. I don't care what other policies you pass."
Wait, when
If
did
he-
you
if he
talk
does
to
that in
Gavin
debate-
Newsom? What the fuck?
No. I just tweeted it out. Like he was talking about
Oh,
the news.
okay.
I haven't spoken to him yet. Don't worry, it'll happen. Though. I'm on the trajectory.
Ro Khanna, listen, Ro Khanna is Soy Pill's roommate, okay? Because so he's gonna meet Governor Newsom. Trust me, it's gonna happen.
You joke. I am in the Newsom creator signal chat that was branched off from the
What?
DNC creator signal
What
chat.
the
For you,
So
bro.
we'll see what
Lucky.
happens.
Wait,
fuck?
did Pete Hegseth or did he leak
Yeah, it
that
was,
signal chat? How did that happen?
No.
Yeah.
No. But
Wait,
I'm
hold on.
manifesting our
That was
slurs
a
into the debate
stretch,
stage. It's
Josiah.
happening right
Josiah,
now.
that was a stretch. Any
Wait,
like
It
text
wasn't a
chat,
stretch.
that's
It really
a
wasn't a
stretch.
stretch. No, I don't think so. So anyway, I think it works better with 4.
Wait, hold on, boys. So, are you guys gonna come out to fucking Los Angeles? We can do some canvassing for the amendment thing. What's up?
Hell yeah, I'll do that.
Down.
Vegas.
Well, we
All
got
right.
to reach out. We got to reach out to Newsom's office. I've seen a couple names we can reach out to and see if we can arrange something. Maybe they can help us. Like let us be partisan.
Dude, if
Yeah,
you have
I-
some connects, fucking do that for sure.
Yeah, I
I
texted.
do.
DM me. I'll reach out. I'm in the chat.
There you go.
Yeah, we do need to make that happen. I reached out to Adam, Luke, and Brian. Adam is down. Luke is down. He's in Ukraine at the moment, but he'll be back in like 7 or 8 days or something like that. Luke Beasley. And Brian wants to put something together, but he's currently leaning more virtual than in person. So I'm trying to work on him because I do agree that some sort of like in-person event or rally would go a long way.
Should we
I'm not
also
big enough
canvass
to
for
pull
the
that off.
California amendment?
Well,
What does it need?
that's what-
50%? Oh, that's
No,
what it's for?
that's what. Yeah. It just
Oh,
needs
yeah,
a simple majority. By the way, Biden. Jesus. Newsom's internals showed them plus 22 for this amendment, so we're gonna
Not
pass this
bad.
shit. Just so you guys know, there was
Let's
one poll
hope.
that they released like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago. We might have already talked about it on the last episode, but the way that they asked the question was so insanely leading. Like the question was like, in 2016, California voters decided that an independent, they couched it with all this kind of loaded language, and that poll had like 39% support. So people were like, "This amendment's DOA," but no. There's been so many other polls at this point that show double-digit support for this amendment, and we haven't even begun to like fucking get out the vote yet. So yeah.
I have a question for the panel actually, because one of my friends floated me this idea. Obviously, I think everyone here is in support of the redistricting. It's fighting fire with fire, but it's also
Peace goes
like
not.
even better.
I totally am.
It's even better than what they're doing in Texas because we're like, hey, voters, you can decide if we fight back, and obviously, it seems like we're going to pass that. But one thing that he floated, what he was in favor for it, I don't know if I am, is if Trump is going to be withholding sometimes federal aid from, insubordinate states, as he might put it, would we be
Federal
doing
taxes?
that back? Or like saying like, oh, sorry, we're not giving you FEMA emergency funds because you guys, didn't comply with this thing, or you have a sanctuary city. Should Democrats also be doing that as well, or do you think that's too far?
Depends on the thing.
I
Depends
don't
on
know
the
if the
thing.
legal mechanism would be for that, but like I have no objection to that in principle.
It just depends on the thing. Like if it's FEMA, no, I'm not gonna, basically punish a bunch of residents from red states just because they're have idiotic voting patterns. Does that
was
Lucas
my
Beasley
pushback,
sound like a name of like an NBA player, like who shoots a 3, like Lucas Beasley?
What?
Or no? I don't think I'm Beasley.
He just connected two completely different thoughts. That was.
Wait, is there a Beasley NBA player? Sorry, I'm stuck on that. Anyway,
you are stuck on that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, I do think that like it depends on the actual thing. If you're just gonna withhold like emergency funds, why the fuck would you be in support of that?
Yeah, I just don't like the idea of this like collective punishment, like just because they're doing it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
Somebody in chat was asked.
I'm sorry, real quick to close the loop on that. You object. You don't object to withholding taxes to the federal government. It just depends on what the program is.
I suppose so. Yeah. Like
okay, that's where I am. Yeah, that's where I am. I agree. Like if you're gonna say, well, we're not gonna help fund FEMA, like that's probably fucked up. But
Somebody in chat was asking like how much the measure needs to pass by in California. It's just a simple majority. Once it gets to the voters, it has to pass the legislature by I think like a pretty big majority, but they got that easily. And so now it's going to be to the voters on November 4th, I think, in California. Yep. And
sick.
And it just needs to be it just needs to be a simple majority.
Which means 50%, right?
Or more?
Yes.
Just
more than 50%.
Yeah. IRI, do you share Hutch's confidence that it will pass?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. Democrats are very popular here, and Gavin as well. He had his recall election like in 2023, I think it was, and he won by like 20 points. So I'm not worried about that.
We fucking hate this guy. He's fucked with us so many times with the fire stuff, man. Like we fucking hate him here. So
are you guys worried that Adam Shifty Shift is going to get busted for mortgage fraud? You worried about that?
Well, I was going to bring this up.
They're going to drop an indictment.
Yeah, I was going to bring this up as far as the federal board member that he fired. He accused her of mortgage fraud. So this seems to be the new tool that Trump administration is using with Letitia James, with this Federal Reserve Board member, with Adam Schiff. So I just think this is a very weak charge against people because like I looked at the Letitia James case and her lawyer responded in great detail to all the accusations. And when you sign a mortgage, it's like a bunch of paperwork and it's easy to make a mistake and have one of them say it's your primary residence and the other ones to say it doesn't. So it just seems like a bunch of BS.
But when Trump has his property in Mar-a-Lago inflated for purposes of, I mean, did you hear the news about that?
The damages get waived.
Yeah.
I want you to explain this to me. Okay, I take the point that that the award or whatever it was that the monetary compensation that he owed was they said excessive. Why has he got to go to fucking zero? I don't understand. Why is that the case? Because they say he's still. Yeah.
I think they're going to reassess damages. I don't think they just vacated the award.
Oh, okay, so it's a temporary thing. You think?
Yeah, I think there's still going to be damages, and I think they'll even try to appeal it to the Court of Appeals. We'll see, but yeah.
Okay, so this is
plus the other punishment is still in play. Like he can't run a business.
Yeah, the injunctive relief is still in place, and and obviously like the judgment is still in place, which they
and him and was it Don Jr. and Eric can't serve on the board, or is it a
that's what IRI saying?
Yeah.
I think it's like less time for them. I think it's like 2 years for them and 5 for Trump. I could be wrong about that.
So I'm curious, Pisco, with all this the stuff going on about the executive order and anything, have you seen any concessions from centrist or conservative law?
I'm not even looking for those anymore, dude. Like, what are we doing now? I mean, are you really looking for?
Josiah, the best I've seen is it's not going to happen. This isn't going to go through. What are you talking about? That's the best they can muster because it's so optically bad.
I know Josiah is looking at that Lactoid tweet and just like seething, and he's like, you know what? You have to say the Democrats are objectively better on this, and everybody's like, at this point, man, like these guys are hacks, bro. We need to stop worrying about them. They're hacks.
What about Nate the lawyer? Set Ryan and Lactoid aside. What about those other big law tubers that you were?
Oh yeah, I'll reach out to the goobers and we'll see what they think about it. The Council of Goobers. By the way, this guy Legal Mindset is a complete dipshit. I've been reviewing some of his content, and like this guy's a total clown. Anyway, just thought I would, since we're talking about the legal goobers, he's quite a goober.
Yeah, we covered that. Trump just fired a Fed seat. Yeah. Now,
we covered it.
So what's going to happen there? Do you think it'll be upheld? Because I thought in like one of the recent Supreme Court decisions, the Supreme Court.
I said that. Yeah. So in dicta, they signaled that one of the historical exceptions, tracing back to the first and second national banks of the United States for protection from removal, is the Federal Reserve, and it was so transparently an attempt by the Supreme Court to be like, okay, we want to give Trump the power to do everything, but we don't really want them to affect Wall Street or anything like that. And so, like, it was just such a nakedly partisan move, a hack move by this court.
No,
the court
you're
is
just not
so
a
out
true
of control.
Originalist. You just don't
so out of
appreciate the
control.
originalist framing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's originalism. Yeah, originalism for the first. By the way, can we just be honest about something right now? Like, who the fuck at this point actually cares to preserve the Supreme Court as it currently is for reasons related to like originalism and judicial philosophy? If anyone tries to sell you on that shit, they are totally full of it. And we don't even need to, like, I don't know, like, Josiah, you have this fixation on trying to appeal to them and get them to admit like total defeat. It's like IRI said, they're never going. There's too much ego involved at this point.
Appeal.
You know?
Like I know I'm pissing in the wind on that, but the point is partially like to mock them too. It's like just to take a shot across the bow that they were objectively wrong on Trump. They were predictably wrong on Trump, and it's funny to watch Trump constantly fucking humiliate these people every day. The people who are like, yeah, Trump's going to be better on free speech. Trump's going to be, you know.
It's fun to signal to the audience. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
If we have any if they ever actually try to pack the court or anything, they just shouldn't run on it. That's the only thing. Just like wait until you get into power and then start floating the idea.
Sneaky.
Literally,
I'm just not sure. So again, the problem is, and I go back to the 2024 election, which was we still had some lingering animosity towards the court in the Dobbs decision. We had lingering animosity towards the court over the scandals of Clarence Thomas and Justice Alito. We also had the Trump immunity decision. Like the Supreme Court, I think last year was at its lowest point. It's at its polling nadir. And I talked about this with Sheldon Whitehouse, and he was kind of on the same page, which was he understands.
Oh, you and Sheldon are on the same page? You guys are on speaking terms, right?
We really are. Sheldon
you guys
and
are friends?
Yeah.
I call him Shell.
Exactly. My
Shell.
favorite fucking
my favorite Shell besides
senator.
Shel Silverstein.
And, he was like, look, this isn't by itself a particularly high salience issue, but he was like, he regrets that the Democratic Party did not try to make it more of a high salience issue, actually spend the political capital to do it, because he and I are convinced that the country will just get used to this. Like, you don't hear about the millions of dollars in undisclosed gifts from Thomas in particular. You don't hear about the flag scandal about Alito. Even though the Supreme Court is pretty
minor,
active.
dude. Who cares? Like,
No, what do you mean? Who cares? No, what I'm saying is the Supreme Court reform is actually a big fucking deal, and all of these things collectively had some weight last year, and now we don't hear about it.
No one
anymore.
gives a fuck. I mean,
you got two sides of this, Josiah. On one side, you've got, hey, this might invigorate Democrats in the same way that gerrymandering is, hey, let's fight back. This is bullshit. On the other side, I think this optically looks like a sore loser thing. Like, oh, you got your president, you installed your Supreme Court justices, you're upset about it. Now you want to reform the system now that it didn't work out for you. As much as I might support it, I'm not sure this would play nearly so well.
There's definitely
on
a lot.
Campaign.
There's definitely a lot more people now that are open to packing the Supreme Court after Trump like stacked it. So when you go back to like 2021, there was like 68% of Americans opposed court packing. Now it's 52%, but it's still only 41% support. So that's just like, I don't know. First of all, it's a low salience issue for 99% of voters. And second of all, it's just not very popular. So
but that's what I mean. Like the Democrats didn't spend any political capital to try to make it a higher salience issue. And going back to what Pisco said, whether he intended it or not, is this Supreme Court is going to be the ultimate filter for any sort of, major move by the next Democratic administration. I mean, they get to strike down federal statutory law. So even if you pass the shit that you want to pass, there's a good chance they at least have the power, even if they choose not to exercise it, to strike down any law passed by a Democratic president. And
you can do that when you're in office, though. You should take my position, where it's just like you wait until you actually have the power. Like, don't run on it. Like, this is just not a very.
Hutch, this is what Josiah was talking about. Now this is going to be clipped, and Trump's going to run it in campaign ads in 2028.
But
you are the face of the new Democratic Party now.
Hide your power level.
Candidates who are willing to do that, I guess, is my point. And I'm concerned that if we don't make it a higher salience issue, that we will not necessarily elect candidates who would be willing to do the things that we're talking about.
I think Newsom would fucking entertain that possibility if we fucking gave him
Newsom
power.
would. Yeah. But as we've often talked about, it's very important to have, because we're not going to have a filibuster-proof majority, right? So you would need a Democratic House in sufficient numbers where either all or at least a majority would vote for court reform, and then you would have, you have to have a Senate Democratic majority who would be willing to break the filibuster to do it, and a Democratic
At
president.
that
I totally
point,
agree.
we're off
Newsom
to
would
the
do
fucking races at that point. If they get rid of the filibuster to do it, we're gonna have fucking 52 Supreme Court justices in like 10 years. You know, like yeah.
I actually see a comment I want to piggyback off of in the chat. It says the Supreme Court was a big talking point in 2016. It didn't matter to voters. I mean, I remember there's this famous clip, Sam Cedars talking to Jimmy Dore, and he's like, yeah, hey, this is like 2, maybe 3 seats are up in this election. Doesn't this matter? And like he's like, oh, what if the moon falls into the Lake Michigan or whatever? And it's like, at the stage of what the court was at that point, it was very at risk, and we were sounding alarm bells, and Hillary Clinton was sounding alarm bells. He's going to get 2 or 3 Supreme Court justices, and no one seemed to care. So how do you make people care about packing the court?
You want to talk about black pill left? Trump's probably going to get 2 more seats.
Oh God,
we're going to get a MAGA majority. Yeah, I mean, like, why wouldn't Alito or Thomas retire before
both?
Yeah.
Well, listen, it sounds crazy, but there is a path to us taking the Senate in the midterms.
It runs through Alaska. It runs through Texas,
Ohio,
and Maine.
Ohio, Sherrod Brown.
Oh, the polling.
North Carolina.
North Carolina
Yeah,
is
exactly.
going to happen. I'm pretty confident North Carolina is going to happen.
North Carolina, Maine, Ohio, Texas, Alaska. There's some options. Isn't Nebraska in the mix too?
It's a ruby red state, man. I don't know. I mean, if we have an independent there, like what's
The independent did pretty well. Dan
he did all
Osborne, I
right.
think his name.
Yeah. Listen, we got to pick off Susan Collins, and that is no easy task.
Politically,
I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say they might want to
metaphorically, politically. Guys, I don't support violence. Yeah. Unburn the Waymos, unburn the Teslas, and arrest Luigi Mangione. Wherever he is. Wherever Luigi is, get him.
The Waymos? Who was it?
That was me, yeah. I said that
Hutch, you burned a Waymo?
No. I was saying optically it's very, very bad for them to do that.
Yeah, we have to unburn them.
Yeah. That's what I said.
And listen,
I'm kind of with Josiah on we got to go nuclear on everything, and you know, I'm talking like
I brought
saying,
you in.
I want
to
see
back me up.
well, wait a second. I want to see Gavin talk about packing alligator Alcatraz with these MAGA goofballs. I want to see.
Oh my word! I don't even know
concentration camps, but woke. That's what we're gonna run. Is that what's happening?
You just gave Josiah the most powerful erection he's experienced in the last 2 to 3 years. Probably.
Hey, get up here!
Penis fixation. This episode.
Listen, MAGA is a cancer. This ain't your grandpa's Republican Party, and it's not coming back. Like this is an existential threat to our democracy. So everything's on the table, man.
To shreds, you say.
These thieves
I
are
don't
going to
know.
destroy
I'm with
our
Hutch on
country.
the maybe don't say it until you're in power, and then if you need to do
and then
the post
the
1940s Germany, like, hey, let's try to denazify a little bit. Okay, sure, but don't run on the alligator Alcatraz woke camps. That's not.
Which, by the way, speaking of abundance, the theory. Well, you say but like right now, the reason why alligator Alcatraz is being is stopped from
is it because of regulation?
Is because they're using environmental regulation to limit the building of housing for immigrants in the Everglades in the middle of like a wildlife preserve. So thank you to Nader's Raiders for this one, helping support due process and good conditions for prisoners.
Was the court order that they have to start tearing it down in the next 30 days or something like that?
I actually don't know the particulars of the injunction. They have to stop, continue construction, and they have to, I think, wind it down. But
no, I think. All right, you were shaking your head there. Do you know more about it? Like the alligator island?
30 or 60 days they have to start taking it down. So I don't think it's going to exist for very long. It was just a stunt anyways, right? It was never meant to do anything special.
Didn't he pivot instantly to deportation depot or something like that?
Well, now they're saying just send him to Uganda, send him to South Sudan, which we love that.
Speaking of abundance, that reminded me, and I hate that we're gonna obviously end on a sour note here potentially, but again, Peter Rothblatt's shared this. He goes, so revealing when certain folks slammed abundance as reheated neoliberalism or crypto-fascism, when if you actually read the book, it was functionally just a clarion call warning libs that if they don't build more housing, they will be locked out of power democratically. New York Times, red states to gain electoral college seats by 2032 due to population shifts. Texas is looking to get 3, Florida 2, Idaho 1, Utah 1. California, Illinois, New York, and Rhode Island will lose 3, 2, 1, and 1 respectively for a net Republican gain of 7 seats and a net loss in blue
No
states.
reason to
by
worry
7.
about this. When we win in 2028 and institute alligator Alcatraz, there won't be votes on the red side.
We'll
okay?
move them all to Florida. We'll pack them all in Florida.
That's really horrible. That's really horrible
Yes.
news because you can now you need more than just the Rust Belt now. Now
Yes.
you need more than Wisconsin, Michigan. You need more than that blue wall. That's
blue
horrible.
wall.
Well, what is the argument that it's about housing affordability and that's why people are fleeing? So we need to build more. We're gonna lose amnesty.
Ezra Klein, like it's not even just abundance, but he's been on like he's been proselytizing this for like the past 6 or 8 months. He's like, listen, the primary reason that this shift is going to happen is because people are leaving blue states that they would otherwise want to live in for various reasons, simply because it's more expensive to live there. And if you build more housing, you would drop the prices of housing, make it more affordable. People like blue states would not be hemorrhaging residents. And that's the thing that was kind of fucking frustrated me about the more progressive response to it, which to me, it's like, if you have criticism because you think abundance does not tell the full story, can we at least agree that building more house, like, don't take issue with the thesis, just say, I totally fucking agree with the thesis. I just think that it paints an incomplete picture, because I'm looking at this and I've mentioned it in previous Live and Learn episodes. We just didn't have the total figures, but the electoral college shift as a result of shifting population trends does not look to favor us at all.
Really, bad.
Have I pitched this idea to you guys? But I don't know how we do this. But we get a bunch of rich donors and we purchase a town in Wyoming, turn it into a college town, and flip 2 Senate seats. I think this is like actually unironically a viable strategy.
Well, Wyoming has like 200,000 people. It's like a tiny state, right?
We just get 50K college kids in there. Some of their families move nearby.
Get IRI's TikTok viewers. He just fucking relocates to Wyoming. He starts Yellowstone. He's Kevin Costner in this Yellowstone sequel series. It works. I think it works out perfectly.
That was the main criticism of abundance, by the way, was that they said it wasn't necessarily that they're wrong about like housing inventory, but the book was lacking in like other ways that the government can provide direct assistance to people. I'm sure Pisco probably could dive into more of the critiques as well. But
so there was also the idea that I mean, I don't know if this is brain rot or not. I've not looked into the economics of this, but it's completely wrong, because what's really happening is the big capital firms are buying up all the housing and refusing to give them to people. And I don't buy that nearly so much, especially as someone who lives in San Francisco and sees how these regulations, I mean, his whole argument is the regulations are fine, but they need to be balanced for, does it actually have the intended outcome of being able to build more housing, which it does not. But everyone else is like, oh, it's Blackstone. They bought all the housing. They won't release it. It's all these big firms. And I don't see the evidence for that.
Well, the lefties, like they really didn't like abundance because their solution is going to be like government housing. And so like because it's like a market solution, they're kind of against that.
Oh, no, but Ezra is in favor. This is what I think that critique is misplaced. Ezra, the big example of why government, where it goes wrong is that specifically funded public housing is some of the least efficient, hardest to spend money. And so it seemed like, I just don't get the sense from the abundance book that they're like averse to government doing stuff, purchasing things, or having public housing at all. In fact, I think one of their major gripes is the fact that public housing money is so difficult to spend and so inefficient. Yeah,
it's about all the extra. Not only if you spend public money in San Francisco, are you going through, the Americans Disability Act and all these things about, by the way, I was just listening to it at the gym, so this is like stuck in my head, but like, there's all these regulations that are federal, sometimes federal level, but then there's the San Francisco ones, which even if there is a overlap, where you could prove similarity of like, hey, this is the exact same requirement, you still have to have that state level person or even a city level person come in and say, hey, like your ramp is 2 centimeters off and this $2 million is now held up with someone who has to go and reassess the value of your house and your property, make sure you're meeting those requirements. It's like, it's just harder to spend those public funds. Not that public funds are bad.
What's the y-axis on this, by the way?
Fuck, I can't see it.
Because sometimes people lie with statistics.
Newswire is a little wild, yeah.
Centimeters.
Let's see. Let me see if I can pull
centimeters. We're making the dollar smaller. So much more money can fit in your wallet now, Pisco.
Gold going up is not good, It's not a great sign.
Let's see.
This is how I win.
Wait, why?
So are we like fucked? Where's Econo Boy now? We needed you, Econo Boy. We need to know what's gonna happen.
It's true.
God damn. Can you pour one out for my homie Econo Boy?
Again,
He got out
he's going to
before
be
it
the new
got too
Federal
bad.
Reserve chairman or the Federal Reserve.
He's on a porch
governor.
eating an apple, smoking a cigar, looking on his beautiful land and thinking, thank
Shotgun
God
one
I'm not
pump.
in politics anymore.
He's like Thanos at the end of fucking Infinity War. You know, he's just
Exactly.
smiling on a
God.
great universe. Let's wrap this up pretty soon, here, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's all
I
we
got.
had.
I blew it up, Hutch. It's 0.5 is the y-axis drop. 0.5 or 0.31%.
Okay.
That seems calamitous.
That was a very misleading
honestly.
y-axis.
Yeah, it's a little bit
That seems
misleading.
calamitous. Yeah, so listen, we went a little longer than usual. We tried to get done at 8:30, but or an hour and a half for the show. But we wanted the final lineup here to get fully inaugurated. We have IRI. Welcome to Lib and Learn. We learned a lot from this particular lib.
Oh yeah.
Can I just say this is the most peaceful, most what would be the word, amicable episode of Live and Learn that we've had in probably like fucking 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's because you talked about your dick and you made us all very, nervous.
Yeah, you had IRI humiliating regretful MAGA voters, and there's a lot of discourse about your dick, soy pills, sleeveless. There's a lot going on here to placate everybody.
You had a religion reveal. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, that's an ethnicity reveal, not a religion reveal.
I just want to say thank you guys for inviting me, and I don't think I'm here to solve any problems. I think I'm here because we have a big tent on the left, and I know all your guys' hearts are in the right place, and if I can provide a little balance just for the audience sake, because I feel like Hutch was saying that I got a lot of complaints that, oh man, this is happening or that's happening, and so just to show balance, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I look forward to it. And I know I love all your guys' opinions, and I know you guys your heart's in the right place. I really mean that. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, me too. As a matter of fact, and we close with this. We should have done this with Soy Pill's inaugural episode. I didn't think about it, so now we're going to do it with IRIs. What was our favorite IRI moment of this stream? I've got
I'm not
one.
white. I'm not white. Sorry.
What?
What? Are you talking to chat?
Sorry. Yeah.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Wait, was that your submission? IRI shouting, "I'm not white. I'm not white."
Only white people like IRI. Everyone knows that.
I liked it when IRI was talking about him being a badass with the old lady. Was she old? I don't know. It's just...
She was
crying woman?
aged prematurely by her regret.
Yeah, that was my favorite. Is hanging up when you're wasting your time. She knows. Get her out of here.
My favorite part was where he was like, "We need to go scorched earth and make vast institutional reforms." Like that was hot, man. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
That was mine too, because I know how much that means to you.
So. I appreciate that. Yeah. And runner up, I guess in general, it has nothing to do with IRI. Is just Hutch talking about his cock.
Hutch is
I'm
about
bro. I'm stunned. I literally opened the fucking stream and. For like 20 seconds would shut up about it, and I'm like, this is real life, this is going on,
dude. A creator made a fucking like 10-minute video where he was just like, I tuned into Hutch's stream and he
those are the
talked about
best.
his talk for 10 minutes. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. He did a whole video on it. It was amazing.
Wait, Pisco, since I revealed my ethnicity, what are you?
I'm
kind of white, apparently.
I guess I'm not white at all. I'm Latino. My ethnicity, I guess, is originally my ancestry is from Peru, but I don't really look that Peruvian. Maybe there's some Spanish there. Maybe there's some other stuff there. Who knows? But
hey, I'm a quarter Latino too. Second reveal. So we are brethren.
What? Holy crap! You're Latinx as well.
Let's do a full ethnicity reveal here. Like, what's your 23andMe, boys? What's going on?
I'm black.
German and Scots Irish.
Okay, is that it? Have you actually have your family members actually taken a test and everything?
My grandmother did this whole it was like the last project of her life where she just like obsessively went over the family lineage, and yeah, we're just German and Scots Irish.
IRI, you look like a
yeah,
Nordic,
go with that.
Careful.
No, like I'm thinking like Finnish.
No, it's mostly Polish.
Oh wow, okay.
Hey, you
Yeah.
fucking
Phrenology,
idiot.
phrenology
Hutch,
stream.
hang
when
on,
are we
Hutch
doing it?
probably feels like a fucking idiot right now. He says finish when IRI is Polish.
Pretty close.
Yeah,
Pretty
I don't
close.
think
In the neighborhood.
geographically. Nah, I don't
In
think
the
that's where-
neighborhood.
They're like
No.
very close. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hutch, are you like German? What are you?
I was raised to believe I was super Irish on my dad's side. That was fucking bullshit. They took a 23andMe test, and I'm like super British on my dad's side, a little bit of Irish. I descend from a fucking slave, to be honest with you. So there's like
Wait,
a
you're-
tiny, like literally like a.
But you're
tiny-
Anglo. How can
I'm
you be?
very Anglo.
I saw the Hutch's black jokes. Was that real?
It's not a joke. It's not like I like there's a I go to
Hutch
my
is black.
bro.
That's
I
like,
go
it
to
was getting spammed in the chat. I thought it
Well,
was just a
that's a
meme,
90s joke. We don't make that anymore. Again,
We don't say that here.
It's Italian, and I'm super Italian on my mom's side, super British on my dad's side. But on my dad's side, there was like a guy fucking had kids with a slave, and there's like a picture of it in my parents'
Had
house.
kids
Fucking
with.
Yeah, had
insane.
kids with. Yeah.
I'm
They're in the
sanitizing.
lead a little bit.
I'm very much
Mhm.
sanitizing the language there, but yeah, it's a real thing. It's fucking crazy.
We also learned from that text message that you and your dad are part redwood tree.
Well, I'm glad you're alive, Hutch. Notwithstanding the
Thank you. That's, yeah,
unfortunate circumstances.
really working out for me being alive.
I'm jealous of your relationship with your dad because that is awesome to exchange text messages like that.
I
He's a
text his dad
super-
like
he's
that
the-
all the time. It's awesome.
He's a super.
I text your dad.
My dad, that would not go down. He'd be like, bro, wrong
Can I
person.
get his
Man.
number?
No, he's a super Trumpy guy. So like I've had to learn how to compartmentalize, but we figured it out and we get along pretty well now, which is cool.
That's
Yeah.
Let's
fantastic.
talk about dicks. That's, I mean,
We should talk about
don't
our
bring up
dicks, yeah.
politics at Thanksgiving, but
Yeah.
you know,
No, no,
everything
no,
else
yeah.
is literally on the table.
Well, boys, my heart goes out to you. This was a really great episode, and I super appreciate IRI. This was awesome. I really had fun.
So
Yeah,
we'll be
welcome.
back at 7 p.m. Eastern next Monday, and it'll be the typical hour and a half stream next Monday. So
Can I
thank
plug?
you
Can I
guys.
plug?
Plug.
Tomorrow, Patreon members, workout video. You want to get big? I'm dropping the workout video. You've all been waiting
Hell
for it.
yeah.
And I'm
Can I-
debating some Jubilee fascist on the 28th. I don't remember which one.
Can I throw this
Kai or
out here
whatever.
because I know you're doing the workout vids, and I saw Rashad Crenshaw is as well. I don't know if you've interacted with him. He's a really good debater too, and he's super buff. He's doing workout vids too. You guys should collaborate since you're fucking collaborating with everybody. And actually, as a matter of fact, here's another plug for the Soy Pill. Next week, he's going to do a workout vid with Congressman Ro Khanna and Zoran Mamdani,
Yeah.
who's going to start
Wow.
lifting. Yeah.
Ogre Boy's gonna have his
This is the
series
first
session
I'm hearing
tomorrow.
of this, but I'm happy they scheduled with you, not me. I guess you're my handler now because you're the organizer.
Just saying content brained right there.
I will get Zoran to lift 135 and stop looking so weak. It's going to happen.
Oh no.
God.
All right.
Did anybody else got to plug anything? Like anybody else have anything coming up?
Nope.
No, I got
All right,
something
you're
in the
gonna be
real
on
world. I
Jubilee
can't
for the
talk about.
45th time.
No, just come hang out on TikTok. You guys want to see me debate MAGA?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna reach out
really
to you
important
IRI on
TikTok.
that because I want to learn how you do it, the streaming of it, because that sounds like
Yeah,
fun.
hit me up. I'm happy to
Yep.
share.
Wait, hold on.
Mark has a good
I-
idea. If we all meet in LA, I'm taking you all to the gym. We're doing the gym stream.
I'll go.
Right
Yeah,
after
push
the
pull?
phrenology stream.
Do you do full body push pull? What do you do?
I do push pull. Yeah.
Yeah.
IRI and Soy Pill talk to each other about maybe getting a hold of someone in Newsom's team so we can do a. I'm serious about the canvassing thing, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, reach out. Send me a reminder. I will spam them. I'll be like, look, we've got thousands of beautiful libs, and they're all ready. They're invigorated to go out and make something happen. So